Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Survival for All. School Belle becomes my only partner. Chapter 81. Just when everyone was happy, Sandmao opened the door, walked in slowly, and lay down beside him. A few scattered pebbles rolled from the black-tusked pig to the ground, making a slight ping-ping-pong-pong sound. What are Sandmao doing? Wang Fan turned around and asked. The light shone on a few scattered stones, and 2 or 3 of them turned dark red, which also attracted Lin Qingshui's attention. Dark red? This can't be. Lin Qingshui immediately stood up and picked up the stones, and then looked at them carefully. The dark red color is correct, this should be iron ore. Immediately, several people began to conduct appraisals, and the results were just as Lin Qingshui expected. Hematite, a type of iron ore with a specific gravity of 5.26 and an iron content of approximately 70%. I'll go, it's really an iron mine. It seems there is iron ore nearby. Wang Fan said excitedly. Iron ore resources are definitely very rare, and they will definitely be important in the later stage. There is no doubt about this. In addition, the next disaster is the strange fog, and there is currently no shortage of the first few people to eat it, so it is safest to upgrade armors, weapons, and defense facilities with peace of mind. The remaining time until the fog arrives, 3 days. Please pay attention to cleaning up monsters. When monsters exceed 10 stars, they will undergo qualitative changes and become extremely powerful. Looking at the prompts, several people also felt a sense of urgency. The fog disaster was not like the cold winter. It was not something that could be spent safely by just lying at home and eating and drinking. Everyone in the world must passively clean up the monsters around their homes, otherwise once those monsters merge into higher-level monsters, they will be doomed. The 8-star suffering demon Wang Fan has already experienced despair. If he were to fight the demon alone in his current state of 77 health, he would definitely end up being killed. After all, there were a group of people from Oud who blocked the knife at that time, otherwise it would have been dangerous. Sandmao, where did you find the iron ore? Wang Fan asked. Sandmao snorted and didn't quite understand what his master was talking about, so Wang Fan directly fed Sandmao the wolf spirit liquid. With the barrier-free communication, Sandmao immediately understood what Wang Fan meant, and immediately ran out of the village with Wang Fan and others. After arriving, in front of a few people was a 90-degree steep mountain wall. Sandmao snorted, and a small piece of red mineral vein on the mountain wall attracted a few people's attention. It's iron ore, it's really there, it's great. Wang Dali said excitedly. But under the observation of several people, the originally excited heart suddenly sank to the bottom. This calculation calculates to about 100 units of iron ore, which is too little. Wang Fan complained. After searching, I found it, but the iron ore was not much, just a small part. Although Lin Qingshui also felt it was a pity, she was not discouraged. It's okay. Since it says here, there must be others around. Lin Qingshui picked up a piece of iron ore on the ground and said, yes, since there are slags around here, it means there must be veins around, and it will never be such a small piece. There's no rush, and we have plenty of time. It's better to mobilize radar and search through surveillance. A few people also thought it was feasible, but it would be too slow to find it manually. The mountain wall here basically looks like it has been cut, with a smooth surface and only a few scattered grass plants. Wang Fan controlled the owl to rotate around the entire mountain, and every rock wall was under surveillance. The 4 people on the screen are synchronized and searching together. Remember, black, brown, and dark red may be iron ore, so look carefully. Lin Qingshui reminded. Several people were unambiguous and kept checking with their eyes wide open. 2.5 hours later, when the owl reached the back of the mountain, it had reached the limit of the radar's movement, and a large brown rock wall connected to a dark red appeared on the surveillance screen. When Wang Fan saw it, his eyes immediately lit up. I found it, that's right. Several people were overjoyed and quickly marked the location, because the surrounding map had been explored and the marked distance was directly displayed. The distance between the marked point and the home is 3,800 meters. 3,800 meters, isn't this round trip too troublesome? Wang Dali said, rubbing his chin. It takes almost an hour to go back and forth. After all, this road is not a big road, and you have to shuttle through the forest. Build the track, Lin Qingshui reminded. Feasible. The puppets have collected a lot of resources in the past few days, but there are some terrains that cannot be avoided, such as some huge rocks blocking the route, and the same goes for water pools. With a distance of 3,800 in a straight line, it takes 4,000 units of wood to build a track, which is an extra 200 units of wood to bypass some unbuildable terrain. The wooden track is 4,000 meters long and requires wood times 4,000. Is it manufactured? Manufacture. Estimated time, 40 minutes. Not long after, the track was built. Wang Fan is also in pain, but currently 1 unit of iron ore can be exchanged for 15 units of wood or stone, which means that only 266 units of iron ore are needed to earn back the loss of track construction. After all, most of the current good armors that add about 15 health points require iron blocks, and various weapons with high attack bonuses also require it. There are about 6.7 billion people left in the world, and the demand for iron ore is naturally in short supply. After figuring this out, Wang Fan felt relieved. Wang Dali also stared wide-eyed. Track. You have these drawings. Wang Fan shrugged. Good luck, let's go, Dad. Wang Fan released the minecart and sat on it. The others also jumped on the minecart. Wang Fan pushed the rocker forward and the minecart started to move. Lin Qingqing and Wang Dali were sitting in the back car, and the 4 of them were not crowded together. Cross-wipe, cross-wipe, cross-wipe. When the minecart is driving, the scenery in the forest is pretty good, although there is still snow in many places. Wang Fan, it's a squirrel. Look, it's so cute. Lin Qingxie lay beside the minecart and watched everything. Indeed, we have survived the cold winter, and I hope we can also survive the fog smoothly. Wang Fan said with emotion. Although the cold winter is not difficult, everyone understands that the cold winter is just like a novice village. By the way, Qingxie, it will take a few minutes to pass. Can you see what is written in the diary? Lin Qingxie immediately took out her diary and flipped through to the bookmarked page. I have been reading it for a few days. Let me read you the key points. The high temperature has come today. I thought I would be fine in the water pool, but I was wrong. The water pool has now become boiling hot, and the scorching water vapor makes it difficult for me to breathe. It's sweltering, it's really suffocating. Now I've found a cave. I almost died of dehydration. There's a woman in the cave. She seems to have been hungry for a long time. I asked my father, who is far away in the snowy mountains, to get hundreds of units of snow. I placed all these snow blocks in the cave. The temperature is currently maintained at about 34 degrees, which is still bearable. I am very lucky. There is a well in the cave, which seems to be naturally formed. I think I can survive on well water and snow cubes. When I'm hungry, I eat snow cubes. When I'm thirsty, I drink water. I have to save some fish from the storage shed. But it's really strange that on such a hot day, those dinosaurs are still living well. They don't seem to be afraid of the high temperature at all. Fortunately, this woman looks pretty good, and I won't be lonely. I controlled her to prevent her from threatening my safety. I did not kill her. I needed to vent my desires. Maybe I am like a pervert now. But, who knows whether labor and management can survive tomorrow. Let's feel comfortable first. Wang Fan looked at Lin Qingxie with a slightly strange expression. This is also an important part. Lin Qingxie pouted and stuck out her tongue. Slightly, don't you like hearing it? Then I won't talk about it next time. Wang Fan immediately changed his face and approached Lin Qingxie humbly. Good Shui Shui, you are the best, talk about more important points like this next time. But thinking about it carefully, Wang Fan frowned slightly. Dinosaur. What is the high temperature mentioned in the diary? Lin Qingxie said. It's 70 degrees, which is exactly the opposite of the cold winter we have. Can dinosaurs survive at 70 degrees Celsius? What this diary records is not the Death Gate star, so there are other places. Lin Qingxie shook her head, not quite understanding, just like the Death Gate star. Unless, the history that humans have unearthed before, the mass extinction of the dinosaurs is wrong, the theory of evolution is also wrong, and the origin of human beings may be something else. Lin Qingxui's guess also made Wang Fan think a lot. Yes, the universe is so big, have humans really evolved? Traces of humans have been found on Mars, but what about humans? There seems to be traces of human life on the moon. So what is the missing history during this period? No one knows. Not long after, the mine car stopped, and several people finally arrived at the place. Looking at the large mountain walls in front of them, everyone was overjoyed. It's great. There are quite a few on the surface, but I don't know how deep they go. Wang Fan took out a stone pickaxe and decided to dig it out. With a click of the pickaxe, the entire mountain wall shook. What's wrong? Why do I have so much energy? Wang Fan said in confusion. And an outline slowly emerged on the mountain wall, becoming increasingly clear. Xiaofan, retreat quickly. I saw two pairs of big hands slapping over fiercely, dodging one hand and another pair. With a snap, Wang Fan was swatted away and rolled several times on the ground. The blood volume dropped by 7 points directly. Wang Fan lay on the ground and coughed a few times. I'll go, what the hell? What's the harm in stepping on a horse? I'll throw it away. Naturally, there are only 7-star monsters with 7 points of health and no critical hits. Several people immediately gathered around and helped Wang Fan up. Are you okay? Wang Fan shook the dirt off his body. It's okay, then what is he meowing? Several people turned around and saw two huge monsters about 10 meters tall appearing in front. Appraisal: 7-star wild stone giant. The guardian of the mineral deposits, the whole body is composed of various ores. Natural talent: hardened skin, damage below 5 points is ineffective, damage above 5 points is reduced by 50%, and can swallow minerals to replenish life. Current blood volume: 78 points. Stone giant, 7 stars, or 2. Wang Fan said in surprise. The two wild stone giants were covered with moss and their eyes glowed blue. However, they only guarded in front of the mineral deposits and did not take the initiative to pursue them. They guarded their own territory and seemed a bit honest. Fight. Wang Fan took out a steel fork and said, fight, I have already beaten the devil of suffering, what are you afraid of? Bows and arrows are useless anyway, and a 5-star stone dagger with 11 points of damage will be weakened by 50% with one strike, which is 5 points and 5 drops of blood. Lin Qingqing grabbed Wang Fan. Don't be impulsive. These two guys can also swallow mineral deposits to replenish their blood. They came out of the mountain wall just now, just like liquid melting into the sea. If they can't beat them, they might get in again and wait for them to recover, then they'll have to consume them again. Let's build a new forging platform first, and upgrade the dagger to 10 stars. Anyway, we'll need it later to fight the fog. After hearing Lin Qingqing's analysis, several people also felt that this was safer. The damage of a 10-star stone dagger is 20 points. The resources required from 5-star to 10-star are 400 units of stone. 4 stone daggers are 1,600 units. And this is when the stone daggers in the hands of the 4 people have already been upgraded to 5 stars, and the built-in technology upgrade provided by the system must be successful, otherwise the consumption will be huge. Fortunately, I have Brother Straw's puppet. Otherwise, if I had to chop them off one by one and remove the liver resources, I wouldn't be able to raise them at all. I'll do it, Wang Fan complained, feeling more and more that Brother Straw is a talent worth getting to know. According to the speed of Wang Fan and the 4 of them, which is about 50 points an hour, it would take 32 hours to collect 1,600 units of stone without eating or drinking. This is even when Wang Fan doubled the amount. The resources consumed by building wooden tracks are an astronomical figure for most survivors. How long will it take for them to survive? Upgrade the 5-star stone dagger to 10-star, 4 pieces, requires stone times 1,600 units. Upgrade. Upgrade. Ding, the upgrade is complete. 4 people are holding 10-star stone daggers, which can increase the damage by 20 points. Counting their own points, it is 21 points. After deducting 50%, you can still beat the wild stone giant for 10 points and 5 health points, which is not impossible. Xiaofan, try your best to save your health and let Sanmao resist the damage for you. Lin Qingqing reminded. Wang Fan nodded. Yes, I understand, don't worry. Everyone rushed forward. Since they didn't bring Silverback, they had no choice but to get on by themselves. Sanmao was the only one who brought the battle pet. However, a few people are confident that they can win, otherwise they will definitely go back and call Silverback first. There was a clanging sound, and several small sparks burst out when the stone dagger struck the wild stone giant. The huge fist of the wild stone giant came over. Wang Dali dodged it with a sliding shovel, and hit the wild stone giant with a sword. Although Lin Qingqing and her daughter were women, their skills were not ambiguous. They were also hit by 2 swords, but they were also hit. The damage is so high, it's worthy of being a 7-star monster. It's hard to imagine how you killed the 8-star monster back then. Wang Dali said while sweating while dodging the attack. Wang Fan jumped up on the black-tusked pig and hit the head of the wild stone giant with his sword, triggering a critical hit, 21 points. The current blood volume of several people is quite thick, and they can withstand a few hits. Once the blood volume falls below 20 points, they will retreat to the replenishment state. They must leave room for mistakes, otherwise they will be finished if they die. The consumption of the life fruit is also inevitable, but several people eat the fruit mixed with meat. If they can replenish a little more blood, it is better than nothing. Not long after, several people were so tired that they were sweating profusely. Not every attack went smoothly, and there would always be times when they missed and were smashed away. Almost done. Identification. Barbarian Giant. 40 points of remaining health. Quick, half of your health will be gone soon. Come on, keep the pace, don't mess up. Qingshe, you only have 19 points of health left, retreat first. Lin Qingshe quickly squatted down to avoid the punch, then jumped back suddenly to escape, took out the life fruit and ate it immediately. The blood volume of everyone was not healthy. After all, a casual hit would result in 7 points of blood, or even 14 points of blood, which was equally uncomfortable. However, fortunately, a few of them were agile and had snatched the tributes from the savages, so those life fruits came in handy. And Wang Fan has always paid attention to his positioning. He concentrated on it and did not dare to slack off at all. He knew that in the end he would need to sacrifice himself to kill instantly. When they fell to half health, the 2 wild stone giants stopped fighting and leaned against the rock wall, slowly blending in. Lin Qingqing saw this and immediately urged, Xiaofan, it's your turn, don't let them go. Wang Fan stuffed his mouth full of 3 fruits and swallowed them anxiously. It was impossible to choke to death anyway, after all, the game mechanism was there. Current blood volume. 77 points. Wang Fan looked happy. It's full, die for me, sacrifice 38 points of life, I'll fork it. Wang Fan threw the steel fork, and with a bang, a wild stone giant was struck and exploded. There's one more. Wang Fan was a little anxious, seeing that the wild stone giant was about to be completely submerged. If he lost his vision, he would not be able to make a choice. Summon the steel fork again. Sacrifice 38 points and die for me. A whizzing sound came through the air. With a bang, the wild stone giant exploded to pieces. Wang Fan's blood volume. 1 point. Wang Fan panted heavily and immediately ate a few mouthfuls of beef and swallowed a few fruits. His whole body glowed green and his blood volume slowly recovered. Fortunately, it's solved. Let's go and collect resources. At this time, 2 hummingbirds were staying on the tree on the opposite side of the mountain wall. Not far from here, in the thatched house, 2 people were looking at each other. The man looked a little excited and said, Hey, I didn't expect someone to actually kill the treasure guardian. These 2 stone monsters are hard to kill. And it will run away as soon as its health reaches half. After integrating into the mineral deposits, it will recover a little blood every minute. It is extremely difficult to kill. Another enchanting man next to him also came over. Brother, are we going to rob them then? The man pushed the sissy away. Get away, grab it. Are you sick or am I sick? Can you beat me? Didn't you see the strange weapon in that man's hand? If it was hooked, the employee would definitely lie on the ground motionless on the spot. Just keep an eye on them. I don't believe they are still mining at night. How can they be so bad? As soon as they leave, we will dig. When they come, we leave. When they leave, we dig. Do you understand? The sissy pinched her orchid finger and said, Okay, brother. After killing the treasure guardian itself will not explode the box, which is a pity. Now that the guardian has been killed, let's dig for a few hours. I will bring all the puppets over tomorrow and dig some for use first. Several people also nodded. It would be a bit troublesome to go back and transport the puppets now. There's no rush anyway, let the puppet chop some wood and dig some rocks first, which will be needed later. The sound of mining was heard, echoing in the silent valley. From time to time, the wind blew through the valley, making a whining sound, which was a bit scary. If it were not for a companion, a person with poor psychological quality would definitely be frightened and scared to death in such an environment. Remaining daytime. 1 hour. Let's go, it's time to go back. When night falls, it's time for the ghouls to come out. Wang Fan said. Lin Qingshe took out a piece of cotton cloth and wiped Wang Fan's sweat. Thank you for your hard work, let's go home. The sky was a little gloomy, and everyone returned to the minecart again and pushed the joystick. Step by step, the minecart started to move. Xiaofan, can your minecart be upgraded? Lin Qingqing asked curiously. Wang Fan also checked it out. To be honest, he had never thought about it. Firstly, there were no iron ore resources before, and secondly, the minecarts were not very useful. I have to take a look, I don't know. Upgrading a 1-star minecart to a 2-star minecart requires iron block times 10, stone times 10, and dark matter times 2. Upgrade. I'll go, I can upgrade. Upgrade. Ding. The upgrade was successful, and the current minecart speed has been increased to 80 yards. The mine car that originally had only 1 bucket and 1 rocker was transformed into a carriage with a roof, doors and 6 seats. Holy shit, this is good, you can sit on it. Wang Fan said with emotion. The original 70-yard speed of the minecart has also increased by 10 yards. Lin Qingqing looked around, and there were 3 seats on the left and 3 on the right. There are seats, but it's not suitable for loading things. Wang Fan also noticed the shortcomings, but it didn't matter. He could develop several 1-star mine carts to hang behind. That's 2 stars, what about 3 stars? Wang Fan asked curiously. Continue to upgrade. Upgrading a 2-star minecart to a 3-star minecart requires iron block times 15, stone times 15, and dark matter times 3. Upgrade. Yes, upgrade. Ding, the upgrade is complete, and the current minecart speed has been increased to 90 yards. The minecart became more refined again. The original simple joystick disappeared and a separate cab appeared, with the joystick in the cab. The entire minecart has been turned into a small train, and it is still a common green train, which looks quite good. That's it. It seems that it can only speed up and make the mine car more refined. Lin Qingqing said. Wang Fan nodded. It is enough for now, and dark matter is difficult to get. You need to kill dark creatures to drop it. As soon as Wang Fan and others left, a man and a sissy came to the mountain wall with pickaxes. The leading man took out a fiery red pendant and handed it to the girl. Hurry up and hang this pendant on the hummingbird. 2 hummingbirds flew over, and sissy put the pendant on them. Lava crystal pendant. Beads that emit heat, have no other effect except to keep you warm. It was getting dark. At this time, many green eyes in the forest lit up, swishing. Numerous night ghouls are crawling on the ground, but their targets are all chasing hummingbirds. They are extremely sensitive to heat sources. Quickly, build a wooden wall to surround this place, and then use wooden pickaxes to mine it. The man ordered. The girl did as she was told, and soon a wooden house enclosed on the mountain wall was built. The sides of the house were sealed, leaving an air hole. Be careful, don't sneeze or fart when you step on the horse. Just use a wooden pickaxe to dig it for me. We will leave at dawn tomorrow. The sissy nodded. Don't worry, brother, don't worry when I do things. Both of them are holding 5-star wooden pickaxes. The basic value is 5 points, plus 5 points. If they are together, it is 20 points. The duration of the night is 14 hours today. 280 units of iron ore is definitely a huge fortune. Whether it is used to make iron swords, iron axes, etc., or to increase the collection speed, even making weapons and armors has doubled. Even if you sell it for resources, 1 unit of iron ore can be exchanged for 15 units of other resources, so you can make a profit. A bonfire was lit in the village, and 4 people sat around. Dozens of ghouls gathered around the wall, and arrows were fired from the sentry tower. The spiked wall defended against incoming enemies, and Silverback, Ping'an, and Big Hair, or Mao, and Sanmao performed last-ditch attacks to prevent the group of ghouls from crossing the border. Beside the bonfire, Lin Qingshe took out the fruit wine that had been brewed for a long time. Come on, we haven't had a formal gathering since the reunion. Drink. Wang Dali hugged Wang Fan's neck, sniffed the fruit wine in the bamboo tube, then gave a thumbs up, showing a row of white teeth, and looked at Lin Qingshe. It smells so good. My daughter-in-law is so good at her craftsmanship. Lin Qingshe picked up the bamboo tube. Uncle. No, Dad, I respect you. A few people took small sips and drank slowly. There was not much fruit wine, so they had to drink slowly, one sip at a time. Mom, I also want to respect you. Go away, come on. Cheers. Xiao Fan, if you can sing, come and sing for everyone. Lin Qingqing covered her mouth and chuckled. Wang Fan shrugged. Are you sure? Others are tone deaf when singing, but I am tone deaf. Are you sure you want me to sing? Lin Qingshe tilted her head, a bit cute, and looked at Wang Fan with two big eyes. What is tone deaf? Wang Fan laughed and said, when others sing 5 notes, I can not only sing one more note, but it's not all. Several people suddenly laughed out loud. Well, singing is a killer, right? Then you have to sing, and you can be happy and roar at the top of your lungs. Wang Fan raised the bamboo tube and drank it all in one gulp. Okay, come on, let's sing together and roar at the top of our lungs. After a while, singing came from the village, and everyone sang their favorite songs. On this strange planet, the familiar home is no longer there. All the high-rise buildings, fried chicken burgers, and wine-drinking TV series no longer exist. Only family members depend on each other. Let the autumn wind take away my thoughts and my tears. Is there anyone in the world whose life is not like a purgatory? If I don't cry, I have no dignity to give up. If we could have been less stubborn then, we wouldn't be so regretful now. If I look at you again, will I still feel? Lin Qingshe also sang a nursery rhyme, which was her favorite cartoon when she was a child. The raindrops are falling drop by drop, and the rainbow is hanging in the blue sky at home. I can travel all over the world with confidence. I am not afraid if I have the courage. No matter how cold the winter or the summer, I am strong and stride forward. I can't stop walking. Wang Fan's eyes were wet when he heard it. How could he not know this song? His favorite cartoon when he was a child, The Magic Soldier. The name of the song is, Don't Be Afraid. Wang Fan held his cheeks with both hands and smiled happily. Don't be afraid, we are not afraid of anything, but Qingshe, this song makes me feel like I haven't finished my homework yet, Lin Qingshe walked up to Wang Fan and gently pushed Wang Fan's forehead with her hand. At first glance, it seems that when I was a child, I just watched cartoons and didn't even do my homework. It was a rare moment of soothing and relaxing. From the moment they arrived at the Death Gate Star, everyone's nerves were basically tense all the time. If you're not worried about food, you're worried about safety, or about the difficulties you'll face next. After having enough food and wine, several people slept so deeply that they fell asleep. Everyone thought they were sleeping soundly at home on Earth, but a cold wind blew in the middle of the night and they opened their eyes. There are still strange stars, strange forests, and strange worlds in the sky. From time to time, there are beast roars and the sound of the sentry tower attacking. When the sun shines on the earth, many puppets, silverbacks, and black-tusked pigs appear on the horizon, with the leading 4 people walking in front. Come on, a new day has begun. The mine car is connected, and the train conductor Wang Fan is already in place. Wang Fan said in a somewhat neutral tone from the driver's seat. Lin Qingshe immediately ran to Wang Fan and stood at attention. Report to the conductor, the puppets have boarded the train, the battle pets are ready, and the passengers have already taken their seats. Wang Fan looked back and saw that everyone was seated firmly. Then Wang Fan smiled leisurely and looked at the stretching track in the forest ahead. Push the joystick. Okay, Pinyin is ready to depart. Lin Qingshe clenched a fist with one hand, raised it and pointed straight ahead. Come on. Go, 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 go. The little train is driving in this strange and silent forest, surrounded by tall mushrooms and lush green forests. Not long after, Lin Qingshe was lying at the window. It's so beautiful, Wang Fan. Actually, it seems nice to be here. After all, everyone is here. After arriving at the mine, several people were confused. A few people looked at a large piece of mineral vein that had been dug up. You looked at me and I looked at you. How come hundreds of units were mined? Wang Fan said in confusion. Who is riding on horseback to steal mines in the middle of the night? I am Sao. Several people looked around with vigilance. Although the owl radar was practical, it was unable to leave the 2,000-meter limit of their homes, which was a major drawback. However, nothing was found within the scope of the owl radar. We have to find the person, otherwise what will happen if he steals my puppet? Wang Fan asked worriedly. Lin Qingqing squatted down, grabbed a handful of soil and looked at it. This grass was stepped on and stuck to the soil, but they still left traces. Although the footprints have been treated, the smell still remains. Da Mao San Mao, go smell it and see if you can find anyone. Through spiritual communication, Haiyazu understood what Wang Fan meant. After all, Brother Zhu, who was only playing in the dark at that time, followed the smell all the way to the cave. The black-toothed pig's nose is extremely sensitive. The black-tusked pig sniffed and pointed forward with its nose twitching. East, let's go over and see who is so bold as to secretly mine our iron ore. Several hummingbirds flew away quickly, and then landed firmly on the man's shoulders. No, these people are coming, let's go. The sissy was shocked. What? Did you find me? What should I do, brother? What should I do? Not to mention a group of them, there are also silverbacks and wild boars, and they all have high-star weapons on horses. I'm going to restrain them. What kind of people are they? Aren't you going to run away and wait to die? While packing the storage box, the sissy said in a panic, where are you going? The man picked up his luggage and said, continue to the east and join the small team over there. Will they accept us? They seem to be from the beautiful country. The man smiled jokingly. They don't want the news about iron ore. If they weren't forced to do so, I really don't want to say it. It would be a good idea to steal some for myself. Now is the time when advanced weapons and armor are needed. How useful is iron ore? Let them fight each other and we will reap the benefits. Stop talking nonsense, sissy, and hurry up, they are coming soon. Not long after, a small cabin appeared in the sight of Wang Fan and others, found it. But when I took a closer look, the place was already deserted. Several people put their hands on their hips and looked at the plain in the distance. They saw two figures, who seemed to be riding a horse-like battle pet and fleeing in one direction. Run away, Wang Fan cursed. Do you think, will they come back? Lin Qingxie said. It's very possible. Be careful, everyone wants iron ore now. Everyone wants a piece of the pie. Let's be careful. Returning to the mine, Wang Fan began to arrange for puppets to mine iron ore, and the sound of ding 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 mining came. There is not a single battle pet left in the home, but the owl radar is standing on the guard tower. If necessary, the four of them can take the mine cart back immediately. The storage columns of the four people all contain necessities such as food, live fruits, and weapons, but they cannot contain iron ore. Several people have a clear division of labor. Every time they go home, Wang Dali is responsible for driving the mining truck back to unload the goods, while Wang Fan and others are responsible for guarding. Just let the puppets handle the matter of mining iron ore. To build a sentry tower times 6, you need a bow times 6, a stone times 180, and a wood times 120. Is it manufactured? Put up. Ding. Construction is completed. Wang Fan placed the sentry tower not far in front of the mine. Spiked stone wall times 100 meters. Requires stones times 100 and arrows times 100. Is it manufactured? Make. Ding. Construction is completed. Wang Fan surrounded the front of the mine with a spiked stone wall. There were 6 sentry towers within the wall. In addition, the silverbacks felt quite safe. Well, not bad, I can feel more at ease now. On the plain. In a village built of wood, a group of strong men from beautiful countries were among them. What are you doing? The sentry at the door warned. The man smiled apologetically. I'm here to take refuge with you, please let me in. The sentry glanced at the man, and then smiled evilly. Don't even think about leaving once you're here. Leave the resources and you can die. The man outside the door shrank his pupils and immediately shouted, wait a minute. I have news about iron ore, a whole vein. After all, I am from the kimchi country. I can be considered your little brother on earth. Don't be so cruel. As soon as these words came out, the opponent immediately stopped attacking. The fog is coming, and the iron blocks refined from iron ore are necessary for the construction and upgrading of weapons and armor. Are you sure? If you dare to lie to us, you will be dead. The man from the kimchi country remained calm and then spoke confidently. If I hadn't come all this way to be absolutely sure, I wouldn't have come to die, right? Don't worry, as long as you follow my guidance, you can get rich immediately with a large amount of iron ore. At this time, most of the doubts of the beautiful soldiers of the country disappeared, and then they looked at the sissy behind the man. Where are your teammates? How can you bring a man? Hearing this, the man pulled his companion aside. As you can see, my companion is a man. Only sissies can love women, and men should do men on horseback. As soon as these words came out, several American soldiers felt chills, their anus tightened, and they were a little embarrassed. Well, my hair is awesome. At this time, there was a man wearing tiger fur, wearing sunglasses he didn't know where he got it from, and a green fur hat on his head. Jack, take Mike with you. The two of you will follow this kid from Kimchi country to explore the road. Seeing is believing, hearing is believing. Jack and Mike nodded. Yes, General Arthur. The men in the Kimchi country were a little helpless, but they had no choice but to take Jack and Mike to the mine first. After a few people walked away, a blonde woman asked, "Why don't you go directly?" Arthur narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at the figure who was gradually retreating. There is an old saying in the Shah Kingdom that it is necessary to be on guard against others. What if this guy wants to ambush us and lure us over? It is safe to send someone to explore the wind outlet first. Besides, the journey is not far. It is just a matter of climbing over the mountains in the plain. It will come quickly. On the top of the mountain, 4 heads poked out, looking at Wang Fan and others in the low-lying area. Look, let me tell you, I didn't lie to you, did I? The man whispered. Jack frowned slightly. He really didn't lie to them. The mineral deposits underneath were indeed very rich, enough to feed their small army of 50 people, and they could even make a set of 4-star iron daggers by hand. What makes it difficult for them is that there are not only walls and sentry towers built below, but there are also more than a dozen powerful battle pets. And being in the plains, they naturally didn't have a few battle pets to conquer. Except for more beef, which is just enough to eat. There are only about 20 battle pets for 50 people, and half of them are horses that can only be ridden. However, Jack felt that even so, it would be easy to take down Wang Fan and the others easily. After all, there are many people on his side, and there are also long-range weapons. I'll take a photo and send it to General Arthur. Arthur was overjoyed when he looked at the photo. Such a rich mineral deposit, haha, God help me, I declare that this mineral deposit belongs to my Arthur Legion. Jack, keep an eye on them. I will lead my troops over here. Jack's face lit up. Hey, they're finished. On the grassland, a group of people rode unique mounts and ran wildly on the grassland. This mount has the head of a wolf and the body and shape of a horse. It is also larger and can accommodate 3 or 4 people without any problem. The wolves and horses ran quickly, and a group of people sat firmly on the horses and ran towards the location of the mineral deposits. How long will it take to arrive? Arthur asked. We expect to arrive at noon. There are 10 hours of daylight today. We should have a balance of 5 hours when we arrive. Arthur's eyes flashed. Okay, there aren't many of them, but they seem to have very advanced technology. They all let me hit them with long-range weapons on the top of the mountain. Did you hear that clearly? Yes, General, a group of people replied in unison. Lin Qingqing's eyelids twitched slightly. Why do my eyelids keep twitching? I always feel like something is happening. Wang Fan looked around vigilantly. Behind him was the mineral deposit, and on the right was the track. That was the way he came. Just pay attention to the one directly opposite and to the left. Let's be more vigilant to ensure that the puppets mine safely. Ping En, you go to the sky and watch it for me. If there is any change, let me know. He brushed, peace, and flew high into the sky, with his cute dog head looking around warily. There are currently no findings or dangers. But 2.5 hours later, something unexpected happened, and Ping En started barking rapidly. What's wrong? What's going on? Lin Qingxie asked. Peace. Through spiritual communication, Wang Fan also looked at the mountain wall directly opposite with a solemn expression. The mountain wall is about 15 meters high, and behind the mountain wall, a team of about 50 people is climbing. Oops, someone's coming. It's probably the guy who escaped who called him. He's so mad. Although the faces of several people became slightly solemn, they did not panic. Lin Qingqing asked, Xiaofan, what strength do they have? What weapons do they have? Ping En barked twice, and Wang Fan secretly yelled, slingshot, the slingshot these guys use as a long-range weapon. Naturally, what they are most afraid of right now is long-range weapons. If you want to fight in close combat, there are silver-backed and black-tusked pigs, and high-star weapons that are not afraid of the opponent at all. But long range is difficult. No matter how high the damage of the 5-star iron sword in your hand is, it is useless. To be honest, the slingshot is actually very powerful. Even on Earth, a slingshot with steel balls can kill someone. Arthur waved his hand to signal everyone to stop. Brother Kimchi, are you saying that guy's weapon is weird, a 7-star monster that can lose half of its health with just one fork? The man from the Kimchi country also looked attentive. Yes, I saw it with my own eyes, so don't be reckless. Seeing this scene, Arthur did not show his head. Then he ordered. Their location is on the opposite side of the mountain wall. Come forward and hit me if you see anyone. Yes, a group of people came forward one after another, spotted Wang Fan and the others, pulled up the rubber bands, took aim, and released them. It hit Wang Fan with a thud, and he lost a little blood. Wang Fan immediately hit at the base of the stone wall. This was a blind spot and the opponent could not hit him. I tried it. This slingshot will drop a little blood when hit. Several people's expressions darkened. A little blood was indeed not much. But 50 people on the other side are all holding slingshots. If they focus on one unit, it will be absolutely terrifying. It is precisely because of the method of focusing fire that Arthur and his group hunted down many high-star monsters, otherwise it would be difficult for a team of 50 people to survive. Wang Fan checked the map. If he wanted to climb to the opposite cliff, he would have to climb up the steep slopes on both sides of the cliff. Is it possible to let the silverback wrap up from the side? Lin Qingshe asked. Wang Fan shook his head and quickly rejected this method. No, even though Silverback has 5 stars, it takes time to climb up. It would be bad if they send their battle pets to stop them and then focus on Silverback during this time. When the time comes, Silverback will not only suffer heavy casualties, but we will also lose many battle pets. Several Silverbacks howled angrily and beat the ground. Because they were too big, they were being beaten passively and could only hide in all directions. Wang Fan looked at the steel fork in his hand and took it back. Forget it, the fork won't work either. There's no point in dropping one in seconds. At this time, Lin Qingshe took out the sheep-headed scepter. The sheep's eyes of the scepter are still emitting red light, which looks a bit strange. Use this, otherwise there is no other way. Everyone nodded in agreement, and there was no good solution at the moment. Although magma is used once and less, there is nothing you can do about it. The current situation has made it necessary to use it. Qingshe, come on. Lin Qingshe hummed, then picked up the scepter and looked at the other party through the slit. And the red-eyed sheep head that suddenly appeared on the stone wall also made everyone in the beautiful country a little confused. What is that? Sheep, crutch, no matter what, shoot down their wall. There was a dong 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 sound, and countless stone marbles hit the stone wall. The 2-star spiked stone wall only had 200 blood points, and many walls had begun to show damage at this time. Fault Vulcan, obey my order and smash the meteorite down. What are you doing? Qingshe, do you need to sing like this? Why didn't I know? Lin Qingshe smiled leisurely. Don't you think it feels better this way? Ha ha. Consumption of stone times 100, magma times 10, and dark matter times 10 will lower a lava fireball with a diameter of 10 meters within a specified range of 400 meters. Is it manufactured? Make. In an instant, about 20 meters above the heads of Arthur and everyone, a huge fiery red boulder was still flowing with rolling magma, starting from a small size and growing in size. The lava boulders kept making everyone's pupils dilate, and everyone was frightened. What is that? One person said in horror. I don't know, a meteor. Is it possible to ride on a horse? Does your meteor look like this? Arthur's eyes were startled and he shouted loudly, get out of the way. This thing wasn't made by them. If it wasn't, then Arthur felt it must not be a good thing. Leaving first is the best option. Lin Qingshe counted down. 3, 2, 1, fall to meteor volcano. There was a loud bang, and all I could see was gravel flying and lava flying on the opposite mountain. Several others were thrown off by the blow and fell off the cliff, dying on the spot. 4 more people were directly smashed into the ground from the front, and a group of people fell to the ground. He looked at the steaming lava boulder with horror in his eyes, and broke out in a cold sweat. Someone in the crowd said in disbelief, "General, that kid is cheating." Arthur swallowed. The 4 people who were smashed to death from the front all had less than 20 health points without exception. Arthur estimated that the amount of health this boulder could hit was about 20 points. There was also splash damage. After all, he lost 5 points of blood just by being hit by the flying gravel. Who are these Sha people and how could they have such a thing? At this time, a group of savages more than 10 kilometers away saw the huge fireball from a distance, and then they ran in that direction like crazy. The savages were armed with short swords and wore strange helmets, and there were more than 30 of them. Ping An flew down and landed on Wang Fan's shoulder, barking twice. 4 people are dead, and there are still a few severely disabled. Qingshe will give you another one, Wang Fan said. Lin Qingshe was also unambiguous, and immediately raised her scepter. I can't see anyone anymore, just look at me, I have no vision to predict. Consumption of stone times 100, magma times 10, and dark matter times 10 will lower a lava fireball with a diameter of 10 meters within a specified range of 400 meters. Is it manufactured? Manufacture. In an instant, another fireball condensed in the sky. The people in the beautiful country had not recovered at all, and they were even more frightened at this moment. My hair is back, one person exclaimed. Everyone watched as the slowly condensing fireball began to grow in size, and its diameter increased by 1 meter every second. It was really scary. Run, Arthur shouted. He didn't want to lose any more men and horses, so everyone fled in a hurry. The fireball from above fell down, and with a thud, 5 people died again. 6 battle pets also died. Arthur had already decided to give up. He couldn't afford to offend him. He really couldn't afford to offend him. General, what should we do? Arthur was helped up, patted the dirt on his body, and sighed helplessly. This is impossible to fight. God knows how many more times they can pull off such a move. Retreat. A group of people are not willing to give in. It is obvious that the mineral deposit is right in front of them. If they can get it, their strength and development will definitely make a qualitative leap. The man from the kimchi country was a little unwilling and wanted to speak but swallowed it back. Now that Arthur had lost his wife and lost his army, if he said anything again, Arthur was determined to take out his anger on him. Arthur turned around and noticed the man from kimchi country, with anger in his eyes. The man screamed inwardly, turned around and wanted to run away, but was held down by several people from the beautiful country. Arthur walked over slowly. You want to run? Where to run? It's all you. If it weren't for you, how could I have suffered such a big loss? I will pay for this loss with your life. The man from the kimchi country felt his heart sink, and he knew that he had no way out and cursed loudly. You are a fool, you are a bunch of noobs, 50 or so people can't beat 4 people on the other side, do you blame me? I really brought over your style on Earth, didn't I? You are a bunch of trash. You deserve to be suppressed by the Sha Kingdom. You are such a wolf-hearted thing. A slap, crisp and loud. HMPH, you asked me to fight with Hanging Wall, because you think I won't die quickly enough. Labor and capital are still in primitive society, where are the horses on the opposite side? The fireball is more than 10 meters in diameter, can you believe it? I'll kill you. Arthur slapped him one slap after another. I'll kill you, uncle. I belong to Sao Nima. I'll step on my horse and beat you and me to death. A slap will basically give you 0 points and 3 health points, and the man from kimchi country has 22 health points. But he was beaten to death by Arthur, which relieved his anger. You fool, I really can't bear to be beaten. Let's withdraw. We've recorded this account first. We can't just let it go. General, what should I do with this sissy? Looking at the captured sissy, Arthur turned around and walked away without looking back, and said lightly. You can play whatever you want, I'll just pretend I didn't see you. As soon as these words came out, the beautiful people in the beautiful country immediately showed evil eyes. Gia Gia Gia. The sissy girl only felt her anus tighten, and unconsciously thought of a song. The anus was broken, the ground was covered with wounds. As soon as Arthur came down the mountain, he was dumbfounded. He saw a group of savages armed with weapons rushing over 100 meters away. They were so powerful that smoke and dust were everywhere in their path, the ground shook, and the masks on their faces looked extremely vicious. A group of people opened their mouths and said one word at a time, "My, F.A. Stop it, you idiot. Run quickly, where did the savages come from, and there is such a big group of them, idiot." A group of people fled in a hurry. The mountain was a dead end and a cliff. There was no way at all. They chose to take a detour. Arthur's eyes suddenly flashed, and he shouted as he ran, "Quick, lead these guys to that kid." A group of people immediately turned around and ran towards Wang Fan. Even if he died, he would find something for Wang Fan to do. Dong dong dong. The ground shook continuously. Wang Fan and others turned their heads and looked in one direction. What's wrong? Is there an earthquake? Everyone had a bad premonition, and the next moment, at the corner of the mountain ahead, Arthur and a group of people were running towards them. "You guys dare to come here, Qingshe, smash them to death." Lin Qingshe held a sheep-headed scepter and directly created fireballs. Arthur and others were shocked. "Quick, bypass the wall, break out from the side and enter the forest." A group of people riding wolf horses broke out from the side of the wall toward the distance. Fireballs fell, killing several people from the beautiful country. But Arthur had no time to care and turned around and shouted, "Boy, look at the gift I prepared for you, ha ha ha, if you can survive, I will respect you." Wang Fan frowned slightly, but Arthur had already run away in a flash. He led the remaining 30 people into the forest from the side of the wall, then shuttled through the forest, turned left, and prepared to go home. The shaking feeling on the ground still did not disappear. About 30 savages holding short swords and wearing terrifying helmets appeared at the corner ahead, catching the eyes of several people. Their equipment seems to be very well equipped, and their size is smaller than that of ordinary savages. But with that speed and equipment, you can tell with your feet that he is definitely not easy to mess with. Several people's pupils shrank suddenly. What is that? Appraisal. 6-star Savage Warrior. A warrior with 82 health points and equipped with high-quality 3-star stone equipment. He is short in stature, but extremely agile. They are savage warriors, well-equipped savage warriors. How come there are so many of them? The 28th day has not come yet. Lin Qingqing also said in a panic. What was missed in the calculation? What else was not included in the calculation? Wang Dali said in a deep voice, "He is a priest. Although the priest is not as good as the wise man. But maybe they had some special connection with the tribe, so they knew about the priest's death." Quote. Several people's hearts sank, and they could only explain it this way. After all, they still didn't know enough about the savages. I thought it would be fine as long as the savages didn't go back to report the news. But now, they found that they seemed to be wrong. The priest must have some kind of ability that would be known to the other party after death. There are still too many unsolved mysteries in this unknown world, and even a little savage is so elusive. In the savage tribe, a sheep-headed mask has been cracked in the middle, which represents the death of the sheep-headed priest. Next to it are tiger heads, bull heads, pig heads, etc., a total of 12 masks. Consume stone times 500, magma times 50, dark matter times 50, and drop a lava fireball with a diameter of 10 meters times 5 within a specified range of 400 meters. Whether to make it. Manufacture. Chanting time is 50 seconds. A few people didn't dare to hold back, these savages moved quickly. You can climb the wall in almost one jump. And he also held equipment comparable to a 3-star stone dagger in his hand. One fireball would definitely not be enough, and it might even be dodged. Only if 5 fireballs were scattered and dropped at the same time, would it be possible to kill more than half of them. Wang Fan, by time, 5 fireballs should be able to kill at least half of them in seconds. Okay, don't worry, none of them can get through. Wang Fan joined the battle, but he was very careful. Lin Qingshe was the mage at this time, and they needed to fight for time, 50 seconds. The savage warrior holds a short sword in both hands, 6 plus 6, 12 points of damage. And if you pay double, it will be 24 points. Even if Wang Fan has a lot of blood, he doesn't dare to provoke him head-on. The savage cut very quickly. He just cut with a knife with his left hand, followed by another knife with his right hand. Ding ding ding, Sparks flew everywhere during the fight, which were the sparks caused by the collision of weapons. Wang Fan kicked a savage off the stone wall. Kill you, General Yu whipped his legs. Wang Dali didn't hesitate and rushed to the side quickly, where a savage was climbing and was about to come up. Wang Dali kicked hard. At this time, the savage grabbed the stone wall with both hands and refused to let go. Wang Dali's 42-yard big foot kicked the savage in the face again and again. Let go, you fool, let go of the labor and management, 5 lightning whips. I told you to let go, let go, let go. He kicked her very fast. The savage finally couldn't hold on anymore and fell down. The moment the savages climbed up the wall, they saw the sheep-headed scepter in Lin Qingshui's hand becoming even more crazy, trying to climb over it one after another. They are very fast and can climb to the top of the wall in almost 3 or 4 seconds, but the silverbacks are squatting on top and are thrown away when they climb up. Guys, stop them and don't let them cross the wall. According to Wang Fan's instructions, the silverbacks did not fight with him. Instead, they kicked the savages down so that they could not cross the stone wall. Just block them. It would be too difficult to kill them. Lin Qingqing released the crossbow cart and pulled the bowstring with all his strength. With a precise hit, he knocked it down and fell off the stone wall. Come on, I'm not a vegetarian either. The savages still played fiercely and kept jumping up. Even if they were pricked by sharp thorns and lost blood, they were not afraid. They only had the sheep-headed scepter in their eyes, which seemed to be very important to them. There are still 18 seconds left, everyone, just hold on. Countdown, 10, 9, 8. Hold on a little longer, now. Lin Qingshui reminded slightly anxiously. 50 seconds seems very short, but in fact it is not long at all. However, during this period, the situation faced by Wang Fan and others was dangerous. A savage climbed over the spiked stone wall, quickly jumped off the stone wall, and rushed directly towards Lin Qingshui. Lin Qingshui was also shocked and shouted, Wang Fan. Wang Fan turned his head and looked with a sharp look, and the steel fork appeared in his hand. Appraisal, 6-star Savage Warrior, current blood volume, 68 points. The attack over the spiked stone wall and the sentry tower made the savages no longer healthy, which also gave Wang Fan a chance to kill him with one strike. Sacrifice 68 points of blood. All fork it. The savage warrior turned his head in panic, and saw a black steel fork continuously magnifying in his eyes. There was a pop, blood spattered, and the savage was nailed to the sentry tower and lost his life. Wang Fan breathed a sigh of relief. This savage slashed very quickly and the attack interval was very short. If it gets close to him, it can slash twice in almost 1 second, and the whole body will open up to the infinite sword master. I will choose the landing point on your heads, otherwise I will not be able to kill these guys. I will count to 3, everyone is ready to escape. Okay, no problem receiving it. Lin Qingshui immediately counted. 3. Parents, Wang Fan, get out of the way. The 3 people looked up at the sky and saw that 5 huge fireballs had successfully condensed and were falling. Dear me, didn't you count 3? Why did you just count 3? Run. Several people reacted quickly, and the fireball landed on the wall. After all, almost all the savages were concentrated on the wall, so there was nothing they could do about it. The silverbacks have been fooled once before. Without warning, they immediately kicked off and jumped away, running faster than a rabbit. Quick, get out of range. Several people quickly ran in the opposite direction of the fireball. Lin Qingshui chose the landing point very shrewdly, one behind the savages, one in front, one in the middle, and one on each side of the left and right. Even if it can't kill them all, it can definitely hit every savage. The savages were also very agile in their movements, but they had just jumped off the wall when the boulder fell. After all, they were not prepared in advance. Dong dong dong. 5 lava boulders hit the ground, sending a group of savages flying. The entire spiked wall also collapsed under the superimposed damage. After all, there was not much health left. Each lava boulder also had splash damage, and when superimposed on each other, 20 savages were killed on the spot. 1 is 20 points, 5 is 100 points, the splash damage is 5 times 5, 25 points, even if 5 can't hit all targets at the same time. However, most of the savages were damaged by at least 3 lava boulders. After the splash damage was superimposed, there were only 10 savages left. Even most of the remaining savages have unhealthy health. They looked at their dead companions, looked at the huge lava boulders, looked at their companions with residual blood, and felt fear in their hearts. The devil is the devil, they thought in their hearts, just because Wang Fan was holding a devil's weapon. Escape, escape quickly, is their only idea. Gulu, gulu. After a simple exchange of words, the remaining savages scattered in 10 directions and fled. Wang Fan looked at this scene and cursed. Cunning, really cunning, extremely cunning, these hateful guys. Several people knew in their hearts that they must not let these guys run away, but how to chase them in 10 directions. Even if you know it's difficult, you still have to chase. Everyone, Ping An's big hair, 2 hairs, and 3 hairs, spread out and chase me. Remaining daytime. 1 hour. Everyone's hearts have sunk to the bottom. 1 hour, only 1 hour left. If you don't go back within 1 hour, you will have to face the ghoul, which will be even more troublesome. Half an hour, if you can't catch me in half an hour, come back quickly and take the car back. Good. While they were talking, everyone had already left the mine and had already dispersed. A group of people kept shuttling through the woods. Ping An was extremely fast and was the first to kill one. Now, Ping An is also a 5-star monster and does not hold back at all. Well done. It's not in vain that I feed you so much meat every day. Keep chasing. Woof woof woof. Ping An was as fast as the wind and continued to pursue without stopping. There are constantly frightened birds flying around in the forest, a group in the east, a group in the west, and another group in the north. Remaining daytime. 2 minutes. At this time, everyone who was sweating profusely had returned to the mine location again. Even though they said they would come back after half an hour if they couldn't find them, few of them were willing to let the savages go, otherwise the consequences would be endless, and it has been delayed until now. Of course, this is because each of them is thinking about the team and wants to solve this problem. Even if you are really in danger and can't come back, you still have to pursue him. Otherwise, just come back after half an hour and don't worry about it. Wang Fan was sweating profusely, his mouth was stuffed with large chunks of meat, his belly felt like a ball, and he only had 10 points of blood left. I killed 3 of them, what about you? Ping An barked twice, and Wang Fan stroked Ping An's head. You killed 2 of them, that's awesome. Lin Qingshui's face darkened. When she heard this report, she knew that she was already hanging in the balance. 1, they ran too fast. Wang Dali said, I am the only one. Lin Qingqing took a deep breath. 1. The silverbacks found nothing, and their huge size became an obstacle in the forest. And Damao brought good news, he killed 1. 1, 2, 3, 9, 9. Lin Qingshe counted. Everyone's heart sank. Oh no, there are 9 of them, and 1 of them escaped. But now the sky is getting dark, and everyone has to get on the green train and go home. Dark night is coming. The sky suddenly turned dark, and the entire forest was dark and silent. Only the green train was moving forward in the forest with its headlights on. Many green lights lit up in the forest, and hundreds of ghouls appeared. Their legs were like spiders, crawling quickly on the ground. The loud sound of the train and the heat generated caused them to rush towards this direction like crazy. 10, 20, 50, 100, more and more. Wang Fan cut off the ghouls' hands with a sword and let them fall down. Keep an eye on them, don't let them in. The silverbacks were tense all the time, and several terrifying heads poked their way in from the window. Silverback punched them out with a punch from the sky. On the train, dozens of ghouls were being dragged around, and sharp claws were constantly poking in from the roof. Several people could hear the sound of the car roof being crawled by these disgusting reptiles. It was the sound of the ghouls' sharp hands and feet colliding with the iron roof. With a stabbing sound, a large hole was torn open in the roof, and a skeleton with green eyes looked at Wang Fan and the others with a long sword in hand. This guy not only had a sword in his hand, but also a shield, and there was no doubt that the big terror was caused by this guy. Wang Fan felt a chill on his back and looked up. Who is Jia? 5-star skeleton knight. 52 health points. The souls of the dead that cannot be reincarnated condense. They stay day and night. The sharp sword is stained with unknown stains, and the sword strikes critically. Wang Fan couldn't help complaining. A critical attack with a knife. 999 with 1 knife. Come and chop me if you are a brother. To be honest, when Wang Fan first looked at it, he even thought that the skeleton was a bit handsome, really sassy. But now Wang Fan suddenly pulled the rocker behind him, and the train braked instantly. Due to inertia, all the monsters on the train flew out. Several people in the carriage also felt uncomfortable. They fell together and bumped into each other. Wang Dali kicked Yin's back. Get your monkey butt away from my face, your sister. Wang Fan's blood volume has only recovered to 20 points. It is impossible to fight hard, he can only outsmart him. Wang Fan controlled the train to retreat, then braked, moved forward again, rushed over, knocked dozens of ghouls away, and passed by the skeleton knight. There are all kinds of monsters and monsters, so what are they? Everyone was temporarily out of danger, and there were still a few ghouls hanging around on the train, but it wasn't a big problem. Looking through How to Survive the Death Door World, after searching, there was a piece of information that caught Lin Qingshui's attention. Remember, all creatures in the world of Death Door are real, and the existence of every creature has its meaning, and so do you. Weird, really weird. Everyone felt a little gloomy. Now that a savage had escaped, there was no doubt that a large army of savages would be waiting for them. Back in the village, several people sat together and discussed countermeasures. At this moment, Brother Straw sent a message. Little brother, do you know there is an auction today? I heard there is a treasure map auction, are you interested? Wang Fan immediately replied, treasure map? How long does it take to start? Brother Straw, there's still half an hour. Wang Fan, okay, I understand, thank you, I'll go take a look later. Turning off the message, the atmosphere is still a bit dull. Da Mao snorted twice, and Wang Fan also frowned, what? Mao didn't come back. Hum. Wang Fan frowned, looked out the window, and took a deep breath. Is nothing going to happen to Mao? At this time, outside the wall, Mao kept on the door. Silverback recognized Mao and immediately opened the door to let Mao in. Mao ran into the house excitedly, bumped into Wang Fan's arms, and sent Wang Fan flying out. Wang Fan knocked over the tables and chairs, and then screamed, ouch. I'm a fool, Mao, what are you doing? Wang Fan got up and shook his dizzy head. Where have you been, Mao? Why did you get lost? We were walking in such a hurry that we didn't even count the number of people, and our attention was all on the savage who ran away. Mao hummed twice, and Da Mao immediately told Wang Fan through spiritual communication. After Wang Fan knew what Mao meant, he immediately rushed up to stroke Mao's big head. Who knows what this little girl has been through? Appraisal. Mao. The current blood volume remains at 1 point. 1 point of blood, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for your hard work, Mao. Wang Fan said with a gentle expression. After Wang Fan told a few people the news, they finally let go of their worries. It turned out that Mao had been chasing the last savage. Being a little wise, she also knew that the savage could never let him go, so she kept chasing him. Finally, after experiencing a big battle and knocking the dying savage to a tree, she started to return. After finding the track with her keen sense of smell, she ran all the way home. The ghouls kept chasing me along the way, so much so that I almost died when I came back, with only 1 point of health left. Several people took out food one after another and placed it in front of Mao. Mao, this is venison. And here are 3 fruits of life. Mao eats beef. Mao, eat this, tiger thing is a great supplement. Faced with the enthusiasm of the crowd, Mao was a little overwhelmed and immediately fainted and shook his head. Several people gathered around to watch. What's wrong? Difficulty in choosing. Lin Qingshui held her chin and nodded slightly. Well, I guess she was overwhelmed by the sudden happiness. By the way, Mom, the savages won't come out soon this time, right? Several people analyzed and discussed the moving matter, and finally concluded in 2 words, no moving. The reason is very simple. Since the savages are somewhat wise, the 30 savage warriors must also be an extremely powerful legion in the savage tribe. And if you think about it from another perspective, if you were the chief of a savage tribe and sent out elite troops for less than 2 days, would you think they were all wiped out? Of course not. At least if there are real casualties, it's impossible for all of them to die, right? As for whether these warriors would be known after death like the priests, a few people decided to bet that he did not, and analyzed that the probability of being right was very high. If any ordinary savage warrior had this thing, how much would it cost? How much material would it take to make it? Furthermore, several people do not want to give up the environment here. After all, they have spent a lot of resources in the village. In addition, the fog will arrive in one day. Then there will be monsters everywhere, and the savages will have to clean up the monsters. It is better to get through this fog. Xiaofan, isn't there an auction? Isn't it almost time? Lin Qingqing reminded. Only then did Wang Fan come back to his senses, but his attention had completely wandered off. Auction House, Room 999. Room 999 is the room with the treasure map that Brother Straw mentioned. Several people opened the auction house. The auction has begun and is still in the bidding stage. 1. Treasure map, a large number of treasures, current bidding price, 50 units of iron ore. 2. Zhuge Lianu manufacturing drawings, current bidding, 40 units of iron ore. 3. Fruit of life times 20, current bidding is 60 units of iron ore. 4. Teleport key times 2, current bidding is 100 units of iron ore. Wang Fan and others took a look, and found that there were only a few good things, and the reason why the teleportation key was more popular than other things. There is only one reason, 3 simple words: family. Even if it costs a lot of money, everyone will want to take over their family, so it is naturally popular because the family is worth it. What parent doesn't want to take their children together? And what child doesn't want to stay with their parents to protect them? There may be, but very few. Now that the bidding has just reached the first round, do we need to bid? I don't know how high it will be in the end. Wang Fan said. There are currently more than 6.7 billion people in the world, and Wang Fan is not sure whether he can compare with those teams. After all, those teams all serve one person or one family. Some are voluntary and some are slaves. Check the rankings. Your team's current overall ranking is 28th in the world. Seeing 28 people, Wang Fan also took a deep breath. Sure enough, there are people outside the world, and there is a sky beyond the sky, and every mountain is higher than the other. Take stock of resources. Your resources are as follows. Various meats, 2,323 units. Iron ore, 3,250 units. Stone, 1,500 units. Wood, 1,200 units. 2 sets of iron tools with full stars or 5 stars. Condoms, 150 PCs. Wolf braces, 50 PCs. Combat pets, 12. Devil weapon, 1. 12 zodiac scepters, possessing a goat head scepter. Silk, 600 units. Hair, 25. Sheep, 2. Various drawings. Looking at the dense list, Wang Fan also had some idea. The rabbits had already given birth and there was still a lot to eat. Stone and wood consume a lot of money, and they are needed every day to make arrows and repair walls. Even if the price of wood and stone will drop in the future market, there is no doubt that if the quantity is sufficient, you can definitely exchange for it. The consumption is still very high, alas. Lin Qingxie said. The treasure map must have been taken with Zhuge Lianu. The other things are not needed. Not only do we have lanterns to restore blood, but there are also fruit trees that can bear fruit. Maybe I can look for the treasure map if I have a chance in the future, and maybe I can get a lot of treasures. And Zhuge Lianu can also improve our team's offensive capabilities. This kind of continuous fire long-range weapon is naturally easy to use, so what if it does low damage? As long as you scrape quickly enough, you can scrape the bones. Everyone thought it was feasible and decided to bid immediately. Please choose to bid in the name of an individual or a team. Team, your team currently has no name, please set a team name. Our team doesn't have a name yet, let's pick one. A few people said it didn't matter. As long as it wasn't particularly vulgar, everyone said it didn't matter and let Wang Fan take whatever he wanted. Wang Fan immediately entered 4 words. Please confirm that your team ID is Imperial Hegemony. Confirm. Ding. Imperial Hegemony is participating in the bidding. Chapter 91. Imperial Hegemony bids once. Current bidding price for item number 1, 100 units of iron ore. Current bidding price for item number 2, 100 units of iron ore. If a few people bid directly, a starting point of 100 units can beat 98% of people. In this room, there are more than 20 million people preparing to participate in the bidding. After all, there are more than these two good things, but there are other good things that Wang Fan does not need or already owns. There are still 10 million people watching. As for the rest of the world, some are either not interested, some are busy with liver resources, and some are in other auction rooms. Not everyone has the leisure and resources to play auctions. To be honest, auctions are for people with resources. Even on Earth, they are only played by rich people. A total of 200 units of iron ore. This guy is quite rich. It's just so, although I only have 10 units. Brother Kohai upstairs. Brother Kohai has a monthly salary of 3,000 but thinks 300,000 is a small amount of money. The second floor was silent and silent. Iron ore is not easy to find. The area here is vast. God knows where there is iron ore. And I heard that even if you find it, you still have to deal with the guardian of the mine, which is extremely difficult. If you want to bid, you must either get more than Wang Fan, or you must bring out 1,500 units of wood or stone to be equivalent to 100 units of iron ore. Although some people do get the gold, they don't need it at the moment. It is not the auctioneer's immediate need. The auctioneer's essential intention is to use stones, wood, iron ore to make armors and weapons, and he has no use for giving him gold. After all, not everyone has a blueprint for gold-threaded soft hedgehog armor. Rare things are often in the hands of a few people, and rare blueprints are rarely repeated. Moreover, the iron sword that comes with the current system is quite powerful, and the upgrade success rate is 100%. Most of the better armors on the market require iron blocks. So everyone uses iron ore as capital for bidding. At this time, someone immediately increased the price, and added 10 units of iron ore to both items. They were relatively cautious and did not think about studying. That is what only fools do. The minimum price increase for each bid is 10 units or the required resources equivalent to 10 units required by other auctioneers. Xiaofan, slowly increase with them. If they increase, we will increase until they can't move anymore. Lin Qingqing reminded. Wang Fan nodded. Okay. Only in this way can we get these two auction items at the most appropriate price. If we just show off and go up to 500 units, it is possible to win them directly, but it is too wasteful. The other party also competed with Wang Fan. They also understood this truth and increased the number 10 points to 10 points. Current bidding price for item number 1, 300 units of iron ore. Current bidding price for item number 2, 300 units of iron ore. In the auction room, the other party said, "Friend, please don't snatch these two items from me, I'm useful." The other party revealed his ID and his name was Dragon of the West. Wang Fan naturally did not give up, and his ID was revealed, Imperial Power and Hegemony. In the room, everyone was amazed. Hiss, who is this kid? Is he so crazy? I'm trying to show off my arrogance, Imperial Power and Hegemony, be good. Is the person sitting across from you Yingjung or Royal Power and Fortune? Don't be so crazy about riding a horse. I can't stand it anymore. You're even more pretentious than me. Someone even asked Wang Fan, do you still remember me? We worked in an inflatable doll manufacturing factory that year. I was responsible for putting on the head, and you were responsible for showing off. 666,666. Wang Fan smiled, ignored those people, and replied, what a coincidence, I am useful too, you are richer than me, I have nothing to say, everyone depends on their ability. The blonde man opposite frowned and immediately continued to increase the price. After several price increases, the price also reached 350 units of iron ore. The blonde man felt confident. The two items totaled 700 units, which was 10,500 units converted into wood and stone, which was quite astonishing. In that case, I'm sorry, my price must be too high, right? Who then? Imperial Hegemony, right, if you are really that rich, you might as well continue. Wang Fan was not polite. He did not add 50 units, but only 10 units to prevent being cheated. Even if he was cheated by 10 units, he would feel uncomfortable. It's like the change in the store should be 30 cents, but hey, it just says forget it and it's only 30 cents. It's not much money but it makes me feel uncomfortable. Seeing Wang Fan adding another 10 units, the blonde man was a little annoyed. Are you kidding me? You can either pay a lot of money to buy it, or get out. What's the point of keeping it here and raising the price at a low price? The blonde man looked back at the woman beside him. How much iron ore do we have? The woman is blonde and has good looks. A total of 840 units of iron ore. The captured black slaves only found these. The blonde man thought for a moment and then said, I can't bear it anymore. This kid is just playing tricks on me. The sky is brighter when you step back. The more you bear it, the more you think about it and get angrier. It's all over. There may be something good in that treasure map. After all, it has never appeared before. The slaves can be equipped with the continuous crossbow arrows to better deal with the fog monsters. Dragon of the West has increased prices. Current bidding price for item number 1, 420 units of iron ore. Current bidding price for item number 2, 420 units of iron ore. The other party said slightly proudly, I'm sorry, everyone, I believe no one has bid higher than me. 420 units of iron ore, that is, 840 units. Looking at the numbers may not seem like much, but among the 6.7 billion people, even if there are iron ore resources nearby but have not been discovered, there are 100 million people. Among them, half of them have knowledge of iron ore reserves, 50 million people, and half are 25 million people who can successfully find the veins. Those who can kill the mine guardians after finding them can only be counted as 1 in 10 at least. After all, they are 7-star monsters. It's crazy to say that 1 in 10 people can deal with them. There are only 250 people left out of 25 million. Thousands of people. But before the cold winter comes, will these 2.5 million people collect food for heating or iron ore? Of course it is food and heating. At that time, the iron ore market was not big, and basically no one cared about it. If we count 1/10 of 250,000 people to collect iron ore after the cold winter, how much can we collect? On the 4th day after the cold winter, how much can we collect? 1,000 units above the sky is already great. And how many of these 250,000 people participated in the auction? Very few. In the room, everyone was frying. I'll go, there are so many, we can build a small team. Who is this guy? Does anyone know? People from Yingjiang country have enslaved some black people as slaves. They are among the top 10 people in Yingjiang country. Top 10 in the country. I'll be nice, that's fine. You're better than many people. With 10 units of iron blocks and a 1-star iron sword, how many iron swords can be made with this, and the iron sword can also be upgraded to a high star level. Wang Fan was too lazy to pay attention and directly increased the price, still by 10 units. Current bidding price for item number 1, 430 units of iron ore. Current bidding price for item number 2, 430 units of iron ore. The whole room fell silent, and then the pot exploded. Let me go, who is this imperial hegemony? So rich. And he seems to be toying with the opponent, only adding 10 units each time. Remove the appearance, thank you. I think he is just playing tricks on the other side. The woman opposite frowned slightly. This guy seems to be playing tricks on us. He only adds 10 points each time. The man's face also darkened, and he felt even more like this. It doesn't seem to be, or he is just teasing us. Don't argue with this guy. You don't have to have these 2 things. If you can't get it, forget it. First, let this guy go first, save some iron ore. The woman also rolled her eyes and was speechless. The man changed the subject and said, I'll ask Arthur from Beautiful Country to replace the drawing of the slingshot, although it won't be as good as Zhuge Lianu. By the way, how is the construction of the stone pit going now? The woman replied, 15 meters deep, 400 square meters, the construction has been completed. As long as it can't fly and climb the wall, it won't be able to get out. The man nodded with satisfaction. Go ahead, as soon as the fog arrives, throw monsters of the same type into it, let them fuse, and control the star rating to 6 stars or below, so as to obtain better resources. You don't have to give up the auction items, but you must do it for me. Tell my slave that there will be something to eat after the matter is done. Yes. The blonde man was silent for a moment, and then spoke with a hint of displeasure. Imperial power, I hope we won't meet one day, rat tail juice. Imperial hegemony. It's better to do it for yourself, you use TikTok too much. At this price, no one competed with Wang Fan. Firstly, there is no need, and secondly, there is no demand. Survival is a problem. Who will dig for the treasure? This third party is naturally poor and useless. Without iron ore, they can't even fight for a feather. The countdown to 3, 2, 1 is over. Congratulations to Imperial Hegemony for winning a treasure map and the manufacturing blueprint for Zhuge Lianu. Okay, got it, Wang Fan said. Xiaofan, open the treasure map and take a look. Lin Qingqing reminded. Well, okay. Ancient tombs, bloody burial grounds, a generation of emperors are buried here, and a large number of treasures are buried here. The mountains are high and the road is long, and it is extremely dangerous. When everyone clicked on the treasure map, they were a little stunned. They finally knew why the guy put the treasure map up for auction. All go, you have to cross almost 2 worlds to find it. It's so far, Wang Fan complained. Lin Qingqing immediately began to sort it out and contacted some people from the Researchers Association. Wait a moment, although it's far away, it's not impossible to get there in the future. Let me first see where I have to go to get here. However, a few people felt that it didn't matter. Treasures and treasures, how could they be called treasures if they were so easy to obtain? And Wang Fan continued to look down. 5 keys are required to open the treasure. The red marks below are the burial locations of 3 of the keys. The location marked in red is completely dark on everyone's map, and no one has any indication of the topography. After all, they have never been there. Through comparison and communication between Lin Qingqing and the Researchers Association, the specific geographical name of the burial place of the 3 keys was also clarified. Dragon Valley. The kingdom of dinosaurs, where countless dinosaurs live, including Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, Velociraptor. The Forest of Death. A forest contaminated with unknown substances, the plants here can eat people. Eternal Sleeping Snow Mountain. Thousands of miles of snow-capped mountains, the temperature is below -40 degrees all year round, and many giants sleep here. Wow, no matter which one of these looks dangerous, what the heck? Several people also sighed. The information about the 5 keys and 2 others was not available at all, but this also aroused Lin Qingqing's thirst for knowledge. As a bioarchaeologist, she is full of desire to explore everything about the Death Gate Star, and she is also full of curiosity about human beings coming here. It's okay. The one closest to us right now is Changmian Snow Mountain. If you have a chance, go there. There's no rush now. Let's take a look at Zhuge Lianu first. Lin Qingqing said. Well, good. Zhuge Lianu requires wood times 10, beast hamstring times 1, spider silk times 1, iron block times 1, dark matter times 1. You can load 10 crossbow arrows at one time. The damage depends on the arrow material. The effective range is 100 meters. The range of each star upgrade is increased by 10 meters, and the number of weapons loaded is increased by 10. It's okay. You can teach Silverback how to use it. If they learn how to use the repeating crossbow, it will be of great help to us. The fog is coming. Let's start teaching, Wang Fan said. Lin Qingxie patted Wang Fan. We don't have enough spider silk, so we can only make 15 Zhuge Lianu. It's impossible to raise the star. Wang Fan groped his chin. There's nothing we can do about it. We haven't found any traces of spiders yet. Let's make a 1-star one first and use it. At least it can fire continuously. A few people nodded and thought it was feasible. In addition, Silverback could also be taught how to use the crossbow. Silverbacks are primates and are quite intelligent, so it's not too difficult to learn. At present, the big Silverback at the beginning has reached the terrifying 6-star level. At that time, one was chased to death by savages, and now there are 8 Silverbacks left. The remaining 7 only have 2 5-stars, and the rest are 4 stars. The big Silverback also grows huge after reaching 6 stars, reaching a height of 6 meters. Wang Fan simply made a few portions of wolf spirit liquid and gave it to all the Silverbacks to drink. In this way, they could fully understand Wang Fan's meaning through spiritual communication. Not long after, in the village, several Silverbacks curiously played with the Zhuge Lianu in their hands, and shot out a few arrows, hitting the fruit in Wang Fan's hand against the wall. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't shoot indiscriminately. Do you have any accuracy? Wang Fan scolded. The silverbacks scratched their heads. Although they can play Zhuge Lianu, their accuracy when riding horses is really poor. Moreover, the silverbacks are very playful and even shoot at each other while riding horses. After several hours of rest and training, all the silverbacks' heads were swollen. They stood in a row honestly, and the aggrieved expressions on their faces said everything. They have been honest, please let them go. Okay, after 0 o'clock today, the fog will arrive. Then cheer up and follow my arrangements. After doing all this, Wang Fan began to take 3 black-tusked pigs to the ground outside the village. Lin Qingqing was sweating. Xiaoshui, is there any water? I'm dying of thirst. Oh, there is well water, let me burn it. Gulu gulu. Several people also started drinking. If they didn't drink water or eat, they would be forced to live longer by the system, but they would not die, but would lose blood. However, the feeling of hunger and thirst occurs normally, and it is also very uncomfortable. Therefore, in life, you should eat and drink as you should, and don't treat yourself badly. Several people were digging a hole, all holding shovels and digging hard. The shovel can dig very quickly. We should be able to dig a 200 square meter pit before dark. The silverbacks also dig with shovels, but they are very naughty and throw the soil they dig up onto other silverbacks. It's like fighting on horseback. A lump of mud was thrown at Wang Fan. Wang Fan couldn't be fooled, so he immediately scattered it with a shovel. What are you doing? Why are you so restless? Do you want to be beaten again? Wang Fan shouted. The silverbacks all became honest and helped with the excavation. Because of their spiritual communication, Wang Fan knew that these silverbacks were just like that, active and lively, with no malicious intent. With everyone's efforts, the pit was dug and was 5 meters deep. Of course, this was not enough, so a few people began to build spiked stone walls around the pit to surround it. Okay, it's deep enough now, I shouldn't be able to get up. Wang Dali was good at gesticulating with his hands, absolutely, unless that monster can fly. At this time, Lin Qingxie pulled her mother to a field. Mom, look, I have cultivated some upland rice, but I have tried grafting and hybridization but have been unable to cultivate upland rice with high yield and no lodging. Lin Qingqing frowned as she looked at the large fields of golden wheat planted in the field. Although these upland rice were extremely golden and beautiful in color. But it is short in stature. Although it has grown rice, it is basically like a baby that has not woken up. It has fallen slightly to the ground and rotted a lot. Xiaoshui, you are right in this direction, but the essence of hybrid rice is to remove impurities and preserve purity. You have to select the best of the inferior products from the crosses, and then cross the top of these inferior products again, select again, and so on. Let the quality be infinitely close to 1, and then you can finally succeed. This is a very long process, and it does not happen overnight. I will have time to cultivate these upland rice with you later. But you have developed high-yield lodging upland rice, which is already very good. Lin Qingxie was not discouraged when looking at the wheat field. She would succeed one day. Okay, when I breed high-yielding short-term upland rice with good lodging resistance, our family will not have to eat meat every day. To be honest, a few people have been eating meat almost every day for more than a month. It is either rabbit or beef, with some vegetables at most, and there are not many seasonings, and there is no such thing as light soy sauce and oil consumption. There is no soup bibimbap, soy sauce bibimbap, or egg fried rice. If you don't eat vegetables, you will lose half your happiness. As the night progressed, fog descended. The planet begins to cross the foggy star field. At that time, the planet will be contaminated by the fog, and monsters will emerge. Please survive as much as possible. In the vast universe, a huge planet is rushing towards a large gray foggy area. At the same time, gray fog began to appear continuously on the Death Gate star, which looked like the haze of a sandstorm. In the mist, strange figures slowly appeared one after another. Some of them looked like humans, while others looked like cats and dogs. As night fell, the ghouls also appeared. Immediately, these fog monsters bitten together with the ghouls. It seems, they are not the same at all. At night, no one planned to clean up the monsters. After all, there were still ghouls outside, and the situation was complicated and not suitable for combat. Just go to sleep. In really serious cases, the silverback will wake up several people. The mist drifted into the village, and a figure appeared at the window of Wang Fan and Wang Fan. She looked old and aged. There were wrinkles on her face, very deep wrinkles. She spoke slowly, her voice lasting and long, as if coming from afar. Xiao Fan. Xiao Fan, my good grandson. Wang Fan woke up immediately and looked out the window. Then he took a closer look, his heart felt cold, and a chill swept through his whole body. Wang Fan's lips were slightly opened, his eyes were wide open, and he was very surprised. Wang Fan was panicked not because of anything else, but because the person outside the window was his dead neighbor Grandma Li. When Wang Fan was a child, his father had to work to support the family, and his mother remarried and reorganized. Other children had their parents pick them up after school, but Wang Fan didn't. He had no playmates since he was a child, only the old lady who lived next door always cared about him. There were delicious food for him to eat, and once he even walked 20 kilometers from the village to buy Wang Fan a racing car with a battery. The key point is that Grandma Li's legs have always been bad. She walked the 20 kilometers back and forth for a whole day and didn't come back until about 8 o'clock in the evening. Wang Fan only found out about this later, and the name of Wang Fan's first racing car was Charged Tornado. To this day, he still remembers it. The reason why Grandma Li treats Wang Fan like this is most likely because she is lonely or because she likes children. Grandma Li's experience is also very sad. She gave birth to 5 children, but when she got old, none of her children took care of her. The eldest daughter thought she looked old. The second son thought her legs and feet were inconvenient, so he sent someone to take care of her. The third son also chose to turn a blind eye due to pressure from his wife, and never returned home for 5 years. The fourth daughter married away from home for 3 years without even a single phone call back. The fifth son came back from gambling and even stole Grandma Li's pension. There was no news about him, and he didn't know whether he was dead or alive. Only Wang Fan not only did not dislike Grandma Li when he was a child, he would also tell Grandma Li some interesting things that happened at school when he returned home. For example, I lifted up a little girl's skirt, snatched a classmate's spicy noodles, and rescued a stray cat. Grandma Li always tells stories to Wang Fan with a smile, and every story is about 3 views, and listening to the stories naturally makes Wang Fan happy to listen. Although Wang Fan is not good at studying, his outlook on life is still good, although he has some minor flaws. Li, Grandma Li. Lin Qingshe rubbed her eyes. There was no one outside the window, nothing. She didn't understand who Wang Fan was talking to. Wang Fan, Wang Fan. After shouting twice, Wang Fan remained indifferent, as if he was frozen by something, unmoved. The scene was very strange for a time. Xiao Fan, I'm here to see you. I've also come to this planet. Quickly, follow Grandma. Grandma has a lot of good things and a lot of resources for you. Quote. Wang Fan said dully, Grandma Li, aren't you dead? Wang Fan clearly remembers that when he was on the school bus for an outing, he received a call. It was from a nursing home. There was only one number in Grandma Li's mobile phone address book. And that number is Wang Fan's. Are you Li Pingmei's grandson? She died just now. She died a normal death and passed away. Our nursing home will take care of the rest. If you have time in these 2 days, you can come and see her for the last time. The old man gave some money to the nursing home. He hopes that she can return to her roots. She does not want to be cremated. We will bury her the day after tomorrow. By the way, her children have all come to divide the inheritance, that old house, but she made a will, and she still has 23,547 yuan and 5 cents left, so it's best to come over and deal with it when you have time. In addition, your grandma and her children argue endlessly in the nursing home every day. They are so noisy that they come early and finish their work early, which will stop them from thinking about it. This was the last news Wang Fan heard. The remaining money could be 20,000, or it could be none, but there were odd bits and pieces. Wang Fan knew that this was all Grandma Li's property. And less than 10 minutes after hanging up the phone, everyone in the world traveled through time. At this time, Lin Qingshe was confused. She was frightened. Dead. Conversation. Midnight. Lin Qingshui's eyes turned red, her heartbeat and breathing quickened, her body began to tremble, and she huddled in the corner of the bed in slight horror. Ha ha, maybe he is dead, maybe he is still alive. Xiaofan, come, I found a lot of good things, you will definitely use them. Li Grandma smiled kindly. Lin Qingshe took a deep breath, took out the purified water, threw it at Wang Fan, and then slammed it out the window. A burst of water mist exploded. Wang Fan blinked and his eyes regained clarity. What happened just now? I seemed to see it, Wang Fan said to himself. Lin Qingshe breathed a sigh of relief, and tears fell from her eyes. She rushed towards Wang Fan and hugged him. She kept beating Wang Fan with her small fists. Ooh, you scared me to death, Wang Fan, woo woo woo. Wang Fan hugged Lin Qingshe and patted Lin Qingshui's back gently with his hand. Okay, be good, I'm fine. Is it possible that this fog has a hallucinogenic effect? Wang Fan guessed. It's very possible. Lin Qingshe nodded affirmatively. His meow, Wang Fan, is already talking to the air. How can his meow not be hallucinogenic? But Wang Fan felt strange. He didn't think it was an illusion, but he wasn't sure. He looked at the red moon in the sky and said to himself, is it possible that I have been hit by the infinite moon reading? At dawn the next day, the sound of fighting came from the outskirts of the village. Dong dong dong, that's the sound of the silverbacks demonstrating. Boo hoo hoo hoo, that's the sound of Zhuge Lianu firing. I'm so stupid, I'll die. This is the cry of the terrifying ape erectus. Qingshe, hurry up, there's one on the left. Lin Qingshe turned around and killed a one-star monster with one sword. Get wood times 1. Kill one again. Obtain stone times 1. Yes, monsters will drop things, but not every one of them will drop things. The probability is basically around 50%. These monsters are currently mainly reptiles, lizards, poisonous snakes, centipedes, rats, scorpions, etc. But even so, several people felt very uncomfortable. The gray fog made the visual distance not far away, and the naked eye could only see a 15-meter radius. And sometimes if you are not careful, you will be attacked by monsters in the fog and lose a little blood. What if one has a little health and is attacked by 10? What about 100? That's scary. Fortunately, a few people had lanterns, and the lanterns emitted light. They did not run far away, but stood around the lanterns, fighting a war of attrition. Wang Fan built 5 sentry towers to help deal with the monsters in the sky. The sky monsters generated by the fog were mosquitoes, 2 for each, 3 for 4. It also buzzes, which is very annoying. Who invented the mosquito? It is recommended to delete it. Wang Fan, isn't there a pitcher plant? Release it, maybe it can eat these mosquitoes. Lin Qingshe reminded. Wang Fan immediately released it and planted it on the ground. The height of the newly planted pitcher plant was only 20 centimeters. But mosquitoes are small enough to eat pitcher plants. As soon as the pitcher plant is planted on the ground, it emits a unique smell, which is not fragrant but not smelly either. Immediately, dozens of mosquitoes bit the road, got into the pitcher plants one after another, and were devoured by them. The size of the pitcher plants also grew a bit visibly to the naked eye. Wang Fan was overjoyed. It's useful, it's useful. I don't have to worry about mosquitoes anymore. Sure enough, one thing can defeat another thing. What a bean. The 4 people basically face 4 different directions, and several people are relatively close to each other. These monsters are not very smart and will take the initiative to attack several people. The 4 people standing back to back can also greatly reduce the risk of being attacked from behind. This situation lasted until noon. When the sunlight became stronger, the fog began to thin a lot, and the monsters began to retreat. They seemed not to like the sunlight. Like the tide coming in, and like the tide receding, it comes in a hurry and goes in a hurry. Several people wiped away their sweat, half of their health was lost. Basically everyone was killing monsters all the time. I'm exhausted. Let's take a rest and get some blood, I'm so stupid. Wang Fan sat down next to the sentry tower and rested. Yeah, it's so strange why these monsters retreated at noon. Lin Qingshe said doubtfully. Isn't that a good thing? Whatever, it's just a good way to adjust your condition. In their spare time, a few people opened the interface because they were a little bored. Chat Global. Current survival, 6.2 billion. Nearly 500 million people died in just one morning. Several people also sighed helplessly. There will always be people who cannot adapt to the environment and the fittest will survive. I'm getting rich, and I've produced 5 units of meat, so labor and management can have meat. Oh my god, why are there mosquitoes here? I hate mosquitoes the most, woo woo woo. Everyone, who has the fruit of life. I almost died from eating meat and only recovered 3 points of blood. Whoever gives me the fruit I will talk to. My ranking has shot from the bottom to the top 2 billion. I've turned around and turned around, haha. As soon as you give it to me, it will roar. We're beating monsters live, we're beating monsters live, please support me by painting a piece of wood. Go, 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 who are your family members? Get out of here. Nearly 2 hours later, the fog became thicker again, and everyone immediately became alert. Everyone, here you go, get ready to fight. Wang Fan reminded. The Silverbacks were as excited as a 1-ton kid. They were very happy. Zhuge Lianu and the others loved him very much and loved to play. At this time, not only centipedes, mice, and scorpions appeared, but also several prawns. That's right, a 2-meter-long prawn, a giant eye with a handle, a pair of giant segmented forelimbs for catching prey quickly, a beautiful large tail fan and a pair of long tail forks. Lin Qingqing's pupils shrank and she exclaimed, "This guy can't do it." Lin Qingqing's face was full of disbelief. At this moment, she was a little sluggish. "Mom, what's wrong? What happened to the shrimp?" Lin Qingxie asked with concern. Lin Qingqing murmured, "It's Anomalocaris, the overlord of the ocean during the Cambrian period, with a body length of up to 2 meters, but shouldn't this guy live in the sea? How did you get to land?" As a biologist, archaeology, discovery, knowledge-seeking, exploration, they are always exploring the mysteries of living things. But now something seems to be wrong. Why did the Cambrian ocean overlords appear on land? Are the conclusions of previous human explorations wrong? Wang Fan doesn't care about this. He kills first and then says, "Mom, don't worry about it. Kill first and then talk about it." Lin Qingqing also came to his senses and immediately took out his iron sword and started to kill. There are more and more strange shrimps, but the current level is still at 1 star, which is quite easy to kill. Obtain strange shrimp meat ×1. Obtain Anomalocaris eyeball ×1. Obtain prawn claws ×1. The things that kept falling also added to the motivation of a few people. Anyway, it is better than nothing, although I don't know what the use will be later. The whole day passed quickly, and at night, it was another battle between ghouls and fog monsters. And these night creatures are obviously much stronger than the fog creatures, and they don't seem to want these fog creatures to merge. Inside the house, Lin Qingqing had a lot of thoughts and didn't know what she was thinking about. "Mom, what's wrong?" Lin Qingxie asked with concern. Lin Qingqing smiled slightly. "I'm fine, I just feel that the knowledge I learned before is useless. Anomalocaris obviously has no legs. After studying fossils, they should be marine creatures, but they can actually run on land. Doesn't this directly negate my decades of research on biology?" Well, Wang Fan didn't understand this, but he still said, "Mom, don't think too much about it, biological things are inherently wonderful. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has feet, it must be on land, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it has fins, it must live in the water, just like the platypus, which is called sea-on-like. If there weren't a living platypus, who could prove through fossils whether a strange thing is a land creature or a sea creature? And I heard from the teacher that the platypus theoretically has 25 genders. This thing must be alive, otherwise it will become a problem in the world." Hearing this, Lin Qingqing felt a lot relieved. Yes, who can completely determine all the characteristics of a creature based on just a bunch of fossils? The horses that go into the sea, the snakes that come to land, the fish that have wings, and the dancing chickens, no one can understand the ever-changing creatures. In the pit built by a few people, the strange shrimps are beginning to merge, changing from 1 star to 2 stars, and then from 2 stars to 3 stars. Of course, they must be of the same species. Anomalocaris will fuse with Anomalocaris, and mice will fuse with mice. Otherwise, there is no way to fuse. Several people want to trap high-star monsters and then kill them to drop better things. The next day, several people looked at the 3-star Anomalocaris in the pit and were very happy. It was easy to kill the Anomalocaris, but it was difficult to catch it and throw it in. After all, the Anomalocaris is 2 meters long, and the reason why we didn't choose mice or scorpions is because even the 1-star ones can crawl out. The Anomalocaridids have no legs and can crawl on land similar to snakes, but they are not as flexible as snakes and cannot climb walls. After some discussion, a few people decided to catch strange shrimps and raise them. When they reach about 8 stars, they will harvest them. If they reach 10 stars, they don't dare to take risks, because 10 stars will lead to qualitative changes, and God knows what will happen. Big guy, throw it in right now, Wang Fan ordered. The silverbacks ran over one after another, picked up the overturned Anomalocaris and threw it into the pit. However, today's Anomalocaris seems to have become a bit stronger, and its health volume is obviously a bit thicker, but the impact is not significant. Good job, keep going. The group of people was very happy. When the blood ran out, there was a lantern plant, and the mosquitoes were handed over to the pitcher plant, so there was no need to worry too much. The pitcher plant was also much larger at this time, with a height of nearly 1 meter, and the pitcher became even larger. Not bad, not bad. I never thought that an unintentional move at that time would be so helpful to the battle situation. Obtain Anomalocaris shell armor ×1. Obtain iron ore ×1. Get Shrimp King ×1. If I go, I will still explode the ore, Wang Fan said in surprise, although the probability is very small. There is a 50% probability of exploding something, and then from the 50% explosion rate, there is a 10% probability of exploding iron ore, which can be said to be very low. But this also made people around the world excited. The news spread quickly, from the beginning of the village to the end of the village, from Bayakao Garden to Sanway Bookstore. Chat, Sha Guo, you can explode the ore, I am Sao, I will chop down the strange shrimp to explode the ore, I will go. Real or fake? The bag is really good. I exploded too, I exploded too. This is iron ore. 1 piece of iron is worth 1,000 pieces of gold. I'm not kidding. Just for a while, the news spread that the stronger Anomalocaris could explode ores. The village is boiling, the city is boiling, the whole country is boiling, and even the whole world is boiling. I see how come the Anomalocaris looks so beautiful. Wow, my good Shishasha, don't run away. Let Grandpa chop him with 1 knife. Just 1 knife. It won't hurt at all. He will be dead with just 1 knife. Brothers, kill the shrimps, blast the iron ore to build equipment, come on. At present, the HP of the Anomalocaris is between 10 and 15 points. For most people, it can be dealt with if you are a little careful. After all, the attacks of the Anomalocaris can be avoided as long as you react quickly. As people around the world become more enthusiastic about killing shrimps, there seems to be a bit of panic in the hard shell of the Anomalocaris and the expressionless eyes. These people are crazy. Crazy people want to kill them to sacrifice to heaven. Today is a crazy day, but it can also be considered a happy day for mankind. As long as there is ore, everyone's strength will increase. Of course, most of them are still not as fast as Wang Fan and others. After all, regardless of the efficiency of killing monsters or the method of restoring blood, most people rely on eating meat to restore blood. Not to mention the low explosion rate, not everyone has sentry towers and lanterns, and many people were bitten to death by mosquitoes. It was really miserable. When people found out that lobsters were edible, the garlic and oil braised ones were served, which was not enough to eat, not enough at all. When people find that oysters are flooding abroad, they are very surprised. Why are they flooding? Do they not know how to do it? When people discovered that bullfrogs were edible, they started breeding them. Why? The wild ones are almost extinct. And now, when people discover that playing strange shrimps can explode minerals, you taste carefully. Chat, Sha Guo, hey, who has any other strange shrimps over there? Give me one, it's not enough to kill, it's not enough to kill at all. The strange shrimps all want to be divided. Damn, I'll find them myself. Gungungan, there are no Anomalocaris, can we kill them for you? We don't even have enough to kill ourselves. If you want mice, we can kill them for you. Hey, I dropped a total of 15 iron ores today. It's quite a harvest. Gia. Where did the Soul Palace Protector come from? Get out of here. Hey, do you think the giant shrimp stewed in oil is better or minced with garlic? Fork it out, foodie. Wang Fan also smiled slightly and looked at the people. So, does it smell better when simmered in oil or minced garlic? Not long after, wood was added to the camp, and a whole set of Anomalocaridés was placed on it, which was already being grilled. Wang Fan took a picture and sent it to the class chat channel. This group of classmates who have been with the university for 3 years sometimes chats. We can finally take a break. How are you all doing? This shrimp seems to be pretty good. It will be grilled soon. Monkey. Brother Fan, have you eaten all the strange shrimps? Wang Fan frowned. Yeah, isn't this thing easy to kill? You didn't eat it. Brother Fan, don't mention it. It's okay to kill them, but it's too troublesome to deal with other monsters. If you kill them and explode them, then run away. How can you have time to drag the corpse of an anomaly shrimp that is more than 2 meters long? I have all the essential items in my inventory, and I can't take them with me at all. Wang Fan finally understood and was helpless. Okay, do you want some? Is it true? Foster father, it's true. A bunch of people below looked at the huge shrimp claws and were already imagining how much meat there was inside, and their mouths were watering across the screen. Dad, my foster father is here, please accept my child's respect. Father, Grandpa Fan, give me a taste. Wang Fan looked at the dozen or so strange shrimp corpses placed at the door and shrugged helplessly. He couldn't finish eating them at all. This is why Wang Fan and his teammates have high attack power and high health, so they can farm the strange shrimps unscrupulously. Most people with low attack power and low blood would not dare to farm for a day. Not to mention the time it takes to dispose of the 2-meter-long corpse of anomalocaridids. And there are still many people who just choose to lie down, find a place to hide, and don't dare to fight monsters. There are many people like this. Wang Fan felt that it was just a little bit of meat, and it was not a rare thing. After all, it didn't matter if it was an inconsequential thing like giving love to a classmate. After a while, except for those who couldn't deal with Wang Fan, almost everyone had a bite of shrimp meat, which was only about the amount of a bowl of rice, which was enough. After eating the shrimp meat, everyone was filled with emotion. To put it in one word, it was absolutely amazing. It's so delicious. I'll go for it. It's also elastic and springy. It has a first-class taste. It's really delicious, thank you Dad. Lin Qingshe also smacked her lips. This shrimp meat is much better than the dead shrimps I used to eat. Those unscrupulous merchants sold dead shrimps. The meat was rotten and chewy, and it was quite expensive. Several people deeply agree with this point. That's right, a black-hearted businessman, Aaron, who was dozens of kilometers away, sneezed again. Oh, why do you keep sneezing? Damn it. The woman took a bite of the shrimp meat and sucked on her fingers, which were full of flavor. She was very satisfied. Brother Long, you deserve to be the owner of a barbecue restaurant in the past. You had a great time grilling. A look of pride appeared on Aaron's face. Hey, that's natural. I'm a member of society, so I always have some skills, otherwise I'd starve to death. Eat quickly. After eating, have fun for a while. I feel like after eating this meat, every muscle in my body is full of strength, including the chicken. The woman lay in Aaron's arms. Brother Long, let's not take revenge. Isn't it good for the two of us to live like this? Aaron's expression changed. He pushed the woman away with a serious look on his face. No, you have to get retribution. That's my brother. Then he looked at the village where Wang Fan was at the foot of the mountain, with a vicious look in his eyes. Just wait, when I raise the 10-star evil in captivity, you will be finished. Aaron took out a blueprint, then looked at the 15 units of iron ore that he had earned today after a hard day's work, and then unlocked the technology. Iron chains. Made. Today's strange shrimp seems to have become a lot stronger. Won't it get stronger in the future? Lin Qingshe also said worriedly. Several people also fully agreed. It is true that the anomaly shrimp is indeed stronger, and it may become more and more difficult to deal with in the future. After all, the current situation is not too difficult to be honest, and apart from other creatures, only the Anomalocaris seems to have become a lot stronger, and its blood volume is basically 5 points thicker than the previous day. The losses of several people were naturally higher. After all, most of them fought with high-star melee weapons, so it was inevitable that they would be injured. If possible, let's upgrade the Zug Lianu so that we can also use the Zug Lianu to clean up monsters. After the upgrade, it has a capacity of 20 rounds and an additional 10-meter attack range, so that we can remotely clean monsters, which is relatively safe. Quote. Several people also fully agreed. Although Zhuge Lianu didn't do much damage, it was really fast, and he could just stand there and shoot without any effort. But we don't have enough spider silk. Let's go to the trading market and see if anyone is selling it. Feasible. After checking, several people were speechless. There are so many people in the world, but no one sells spider silk. Why is this happening? No one in the world sells spider silk. Where did these savages get the spider silk? Lin Qingshe asked strangely. Later, Lin Qingshe searched for the keyword, spider in the world chat channel. Found some chat records about spiders. Someone help me, I'm stuck in the spider web. The spider, such a big spider, it's coming, it's crawling towards me, help, ah. Hey, have any of you encountered any spiders? The spiders here are really scary. They are bigger than the 3-story buildings in my village. Someone come and save my husband. The spider wrapped him up like a mummy. I can't cut these spider silks at all. The spider will come back soon. The two looked at each other and said in unison, it's so big that it can't be cut down. It's like a building. Wang Fan swallowed. No wonder no one has found spider silk. Even if they find it, they can't cut it. Even if they can barely cut it, spiders will eat them. Wang Dali was not idle either. He marked a place on the map through the radar survey. Here, yellow mark, there are a lot of white spider silk on the tree trunks, maybe you can collect them. Several people looked closer and zoomed in on the screen. They saw white skeletons everywhere in the dense forest to the west. They knew at a glance that they had been eaten by powerful creatures. And on the barren tree trunk, spider silk as thick as a thumb is wrapped around it. It's only been half an hour at noon, and there's still about an hour and a half left. After half an hour of going back and forth, we have almost an hour of collection time. Lin Qingqing estimated. Wang Fan dragged the picture, always looking for the spider. That's strange, where is this damn spider? Several people observed and saw no sign of spiders. Except for dead trees without leaves, as well as withered yellow leaves and white bones on the ground, there was no trace of spiders at all. Xiaofan, just to be on the safe side, we need a safe method. Mom, what do you say? We already know that the spider here is very big, so we should avoid direct contact, for fear that if we fight it, it will spray out a lot of spider silk and trap us. It's not easy to break free from spider silk as thick as your thumb. Lin Qingqing then took out a sling and slashed with his sword. The spider silk was very tough and he made a shallow cut, not even 1/10 of the diameter of the spider silk. Look, it's very tough, and it makes your hands sticky, very sticky. Since it is a spider, I think it also relies on the vibration of the spider silk to determine the specific location of its prey. Lin Qingqing pointed to the upper left corner. This is the most extreme stretch of spider silk, and if we go in the opposite direction to the extreme, the distance will be the furthest. Then use a clay bear puppet to go to this extreme point and knock the spider silk to lure it there. We will take advantage of this time to collect the spider silk. Several people also nodded, feeling that the feasibility was very high. Although no trace of spiders had been found yet, it was always good to be fully prepared. Okay, without further ado, let's set off while the sun is shining. Wang Fan did not bring any battle pets with him because they were too big and the field of view of the battle pets was gray and white, making it difficult to distinguish spider silk. If they collide, it may cause unnecessary trouble. Besides, a few people just go to collect things without fighting. The sun is high, withered wasteland, direct sunlight, rotten leaves. Several people are walking on the wasteland, and there is still some marsh gas in the wasteland. Why is it so lifeless here? Lin Qingxie complained. At this time, several people had already found the spider silk, but the spider silk was intricate and had no beauty or structure at all. It was not a beautiful big web. Wang Fan raised his head and looked at the thick spider silk with his hands on his hips. Okay, that's it. The clay bear puppet will probably have to walk for a while to get there, so let's wait for 10 minutes. While waiting, several people studied the spider silk on the sling. He kept cutting and pulling. Wang Fan then took out a torch and said, let's burn it with fire. The spider silk should be flammable. Try it, it should be like this in theory. Lin Qingqing, mother and daughter, held both ends of the sling, and Wang Fan took out a torch and burned it under the spider silk, but the spider silk was not flammable. But it is not resistant to burning. The burned spider silk now emits black smoke like burning plastic and then slowly melts from the burned area, but does not catch fire. It broke after more than 10 seconds. It's feasible. Burning it with fire is indeed a good idea. At this time, the clay bear puppet had reached the farthest extreme away from the few people, and then the clay bear puppet swung its axe to chop at the spider silk in front of it. There was a snapping sound, and the spider silk trembled slightly. Buzz, a small tremor came. Just as a few people were observing, 100 meters in front of them, a huge black spider with a body length of nearly 9 meters and a standing height of nearly 4 meters suddenly lifted off the dead leaves on the ground and jumped onto the thick spider silk. There is also a red tiger head-like mark on the tail of the spider, which is not easy to mess with. 8 slender spider legs were pulled on the spider silk, hanging upside down and quickly crawling towards the mud bear puppet. Several people were also startled. Damn it, this guy has been hiding under the dead leaves. The few people who came back to their senses had no time to be surprised, so they had to race against time. Quick, work in pairs, find a piece of spider silk, and each person will burn one end. The 4 people took action immediately. Wang Fan and the 2 found a section of 2 trees about 20 meters apart. There were more than a dozen spider silks connected between the 2 trees. Burn. The 2 stood on tiptoe, holding the torch high, burning the spider silk. At this time, the big spider was about to approach the mud bear puppet. According to that big guy's speed, he will be able to crawl back in at least 1 minute, and then he will be gone after burning 2 more sticks. Lin Qingshe hummed, and immediately moved quickly, burning 1 stick and then the next. At this time, the spider spit out the mud and straw from its mouth. On the ground, the mud bear puppet had been torn into several pieces, which could not be glued together even with 502. When Wang Fan found out that the puppet was gone, he immediately shouted, "Let's go." The concise and clear words made Wang Dali and the others stop their movements, immediately put away their torches and fled. The break of the spider silk naturally attracted the attention of the big spider, and it immediately rushed towards this side. The spider hung upside down in the air, and its long and slender legs swung forward quickly, extremely fast. Looking at the figure that was hanging upside down and crawling over quickly, several people also felt heart palpitations and ran away. Wang Fan turned back while running. Appraisal. 8-star blood tiger spider. A female spider with a blood volume of 88 points, about to rise to 9. When it dies, its belly will explode and there will be 500 little spiders in its body. Please treat it with caution. When Wang Fan saw the following paragraph, he felt a chill in his heart, and ran away without looking back. Originally, he wanted to kill this thing by sacrificing a steel fork in exchange for blood, but now it seems, forget it. The first danger is, the second is for patients with intensive phobia, and the third is that after killing the spider explodes, and the person who dies next is probably you. The blood tiger spider that rushed in was also in vain, but the disappearance of the spider silk also made it feel as if some prey broke free of the spider silk and ran away. Then it let out a strange rustling sound slightly unwillingly. Several people ran home quickly. Although they lost a puppet and a fruit of life, it didn't matter. It was worth comparing. Xiaofan, we have collected a total of 150 units. Wang Fan also took stock. It's almost the same here. Counting the rest in the warehouse, we have a total of 400 units of spider silk. Zhuge Lianu. Requires wood times 10, beast hamstring times 1, spider silk times 1, iron block times 1, dark matter times 1. Looking at the required materials, except for the beast's hamstrings, which were not collected much, the rest were sufficient. At that time, I never thought that the beast's hamstrings had such a function. I'll go take a look at the trading market. A piece of news in the trading market caught Wang Fan's attention. We are the wind hunting team. If you need beast meat, come to us in exchange. Don't come with 1 or 2, so as not to waste my trading times. Wang Fan immediately approached the man and asked, "Are the beast hamstrings for sale?" When the man saw someone coming to the door, he was naturally happy. Yes, of course there is. Our wind hunting team specializes in killing wild beasts, but what do you give in exchange? Large quantities will give you priority. Wang Fan did not hesitate. Iron ore. The other party's eyes immediately glowed with gold. How many beast hamstrings do you want? Wang Fan did a rough calculation and found that he would need it in the future anyway, so he could just change it to 100 units. It's 100, how do you change it here? The man's eyes rolled. 20 iron ore for hamstrings, brother, you want to make a slingshot, right? I know that slingshots require beast hamstrings. Wang Fan frowned and was a little displeased. 20. Are you kidding me? The labor and management killed 9 iron ores today. You want 20. The man was also speechless. He thought Wang Fan was a rich man, but he was still a poor man after working for a long time, but there were not many people who needed hamstrings. Except for those who have hamstring technology, most people will not buy hamstrings. The best thing they sell is the flesh and blood of beasts, which many people need to eat. The eggs of wild beasts are very popular and are used to aphrodisiac, but there are really few people asking for hamstrings. Only a group of people who need to make slingshots have bought from them once. The hamstrings of these beasts are too tough to be boiled or chewed, so they are of little value. The man took a deep breath and said calmly, brother, you are so poor, but 9 is too few. How about you give me the number to make an iron sword? Can't you make 10? Wang Fan made a voice message, looking a little embarrassed. Oh, okay, I begged Grandpa to tell Grandma to get 1, barely 10, change. The other party was also helpless. Seeing that the food was tasteless and abandoned, he immediately slapped his thigh, change. Afterwards, both parties placed their respective items and handed them over to the system for display by a third party. After both parties confirmed that they were correct, the system handed them over, which was safe and secure. Okay, I got it. It's quite cheap. If he calls for 5 more iron ores, I will really agree. Wang Fan said happily. In the market, the volume of the hunting wind team is slightly larger, while everyone else trades for 1 unit, or 10 or 20 units. To make 4 Zug Lianu. Requires wood times 40, beast hamstrings times 4, spider silk times 4, iron block times 4, dark matter times 4. Is it manufactured? Manufacture. Ding, manufacturing is complete. Upgrade, directly to 5 stars. To make 4 Zug Lianu, upgrade 1 star to 5 stars, you need wood X 560, beast hamstring X 56, spider silk X 56, iron block X 56, dark matter X 56. The current upgrade success rate is 30%. Do you want to upgrade? Upgrade. Ding, 3 weapons were successfully upgraded, one of which exploded, causing material loss. Wang Fan didn't care and just made another one and upgraded it again. Ding, upgrade successful. Phew, more resources are better. 5-star Zug Lianu. Range 140 meters, magazine capacity 50 rounds. Wang Fan held the Zug Lianu in his hand. There was a black box at the bottom of the Zug Lianu, which was a magazine space composed of dark matter. Not bad, 50 rounds, basically one shot can be fired in 1 to 2 seconds. Although the distance is not very far, it is enough to defeat monsters. Qingshe, how many arrows do we have left? Lin Qingshe checked. 400, and there are 800 more in the morning. They are used up too fast. The sentry tower needs to be used, and the silverback needs to be used as well. To make 1,000 arrows, wood times 2,000 and stone times 1,000 are required. Is it manufactured? Manufacture. Ding, manufacturing is complete. Wang Fan chose to add stones to the arrows, so that the damage would be 2 points. Of course, if he added iron blocks, the damage would be 3 points per arrow, but that was too expensive and he couldn't afford it. After making the arrows, several people also discovered that the stone and wood were almost bottomed out. Oh, it's really expensive. Just kill monsters. The puppets are still collecting resources, so it doesn't matter. Arriving at the war zone designated by a few people, the pitcher plants were devouring several mice, and the size of the pitcher plants visible to the naked eye had grown a bit larger. Now he is as tall as Wang Fan, 1.8 meters tall. Let me go, can it grow like this? How can I move out when it grows so big? However, there is no time to think about how to remove the pitcher plants in the future. Several people came to the prepared position, and the sentry tower had been damaged by the attack. Repairing 4 sentry towers requires stone times 40 and wood times 40. Repair. Ding, repair completed. Upgrade. 4 1-star sentry towers, right pointing arrow 3 stars, requires stone times 600, wood times 400, bow and arrow times 20. Whether to upgrade. Upgrade. Ding. The upgrade was successful. 3-star sentry tower. HP 300 points, shooting speed is 8 seconds each time. With 300 HP, it will not be so easy to break now. While a few people were busy, the fog in the sky began to become thicker, and there was still heavy water vapor in it. It was drizzling in the sky at this time. What's going on? The rain came so suddenly. Wang Fan exclaimed. The outlines of stars and the sun can still be vaguely seen in the sky, but there is water mist floating in the entire air. Walking a few meters can soak the surface of the clothes. Several people leaned against the sentry tower warily and observed their surroundings. The visual distance with the naked eye became only about 10 meters, and there was a haze in front of them, making it difficult to see clearly. Everyone, please pay attention, this fog seems to be getting weird. In response to Lin Qingqing's reminder, several people also cheered up. Although the object in front of me could not be clearly seen, in the foggy distance, dozens of huge black silhouettes appeared, resembling squids, swimming freely in the mist-filled air. The huge black shadow could be seen very clearly in the white mist, because it was so big, at least 10 meters long, and Wang Fan was only 1.8 meters long. The total height of the 5 Wang Fans is only 9 meters. Several people's pupils shrank and they pointed at the huge black shadow. What is that? It's coming this way. In the panic, the black shadow got closer and closer. It broke through the fog and seemed to be swimming in the ocean, causing large ripples of water mist wherever it passed. Lin Qingqing was shocked again and said loudly, "This guy is a straight-shelled nautilus, the overlord of the Ordovician Ocean." What? Several people said in unison. First, it was the dominant creature Anomalocaris in the Cambrian period, and now it is the nautilus, the dominant marine creature in the Ordovician period. Who wouldn't have countless guesses? What exactly is this fog? It seems to be changing the types of monsters according to the evolution of the century. Lin Qingqing guessed. Wang Fan looked directly at the nautilus. The straight-shelled nautilus had the same body shape as a squid, but it had a huge hat on its head. This hat was in the shape of a cone, and the nautilus body was nestled in it. Appraisal. 3-star Ordovician overlord. Straight-shelled nautilus, currently able to swallow any creature weighing less than 500 kilograms, and will lose a little blood every 5 seconds if swallowed by it. Current blood volume. 15 points. A 3-star creature with only 15 health points, but it has to be said that its ability is very strong. While Wang Fan was sighing, the nautilus immediately attacked several people, and 8 sticky tentacles more than 3 meters long rolled towards Wang Fan. Go away, don't touch me with your disgusting tentacles, I'll die. A 5-star iron sword with 16 health points can naturally kill Nautilus, but Wang Fan's sword missed. Nautilus reacted quickly and withdrew its tentacles in time to avoid the blow. The Nautilus floats in midair, swimming in the sky as if it were an ocean. Wang Fan was shocked. I'm stupid, I can still move. Get it off for me. The silverbacks shook their heads in a daze and immediately started shooting the Nautiluses. Wang Fan glanced at the big man and frowned. Big man, what are you doing? I saw the strongest 6-star silverback being caught by all the Nautilus tentacles, and the Nautilus wanted to swallow the silverback. But how can a heavyweight player who is 6 meters tall and weighs 1.5 tons swallow it? Silverback seemed to know about this, and immediately grabbed the Nautilus's tentacle with one hand and beat him violently. The Nautilus, which was hammering with a fist as big as a sandbag, wanted to escape quickly, but how could Silverback let it go? Just 2 punches and you'll be killed. The same goes for other silverbacks. The lightest of these silverbacks weighs 800 kilograms, which they cannot swallow at all, unless the Nautilus continues to fuse and evolve. Get Carapace times 3. Get Nautilus Tentacles x8. Obtain Nautilus Meat times 10. Wang Fan put these things away. They will definitely be useful later and cannot be wasted. These 3-star Nautilus can't cause damage to the silverbacks, so the silverbacks can use more strength. A few of them took a short rest. Although their blood levels were healthy, they were tired from killing monsters. The silverbacks tore at the Nautilus, their tentacles and carapace flying. Dee Dee. Lin Qingqing answered the call. Drive Lin, you must have discovered that monsters appear in this fog according to the evolution of the century. This may be telling us something. Out of curiosity, Several people came over. Mom, who is it? Oh, it's my former colleague from the Institute of Geobiology. Drive Lin. Lin Qingqing reacted. Oh, you said, sorry, I also discovered it, so that means the next wave of monsters will be the Silurian overlord Pterodactylus. The other party nodded. Yes, I think so. If it's really the Silurian period, then there will be the Devonian period, the Permian period, etc., which are all Paleozoic-era creatures. If that's true. Lin Qingqing also took a deep breath. If this is true, is it possible that after the Cenozoic era, humans or ape men will begin to appear? It's possible, we might be able to figure out where people came from. Lin Qingqing also began to think deeply. At this time, a message came from the other side. Dr. Lin, the situation of human beings is very dangerous. Perhaps by investigating all this, the fire of us humans can be preserved. Lin Qingqing blurted out, fire. Aren't we still alive with 6 billion or hundreds of millions? Before she finished speaking, Lin Qingqing looked at the chat interface and was stunned. Chat global remaining survival, 5.5 billion plus. Several people were shocked. There were clearly more than 6.5 billion left this morning, but now only 5.5 billion were left in the middle of the afternoon. He died too quickly. How could he die so quickly? Several people exclaimed. The person on the other side of the voice also had a solemn look on his face. It's a straight-shelled nautilus. Although it has low health, its ability is too strong. I think maybe this is the price. Everything has a price. It has 3 stars but only has 15 health points. In exchange, it basically has no ability to survive as long as it is swallowed. Basically, no human weighs more than 500 kilograms. People swallowed by it will be squeezed by the nautilus esophagus. In that narrow place, people cannot attack and all they have to wait for is blood loss. After the shield's health is gone, what's waiting is for the stomach acid to corrode the body bit by bit. A few people were silent, and it was relatively easy for them to deal with them. After all, technology and so on were advanced, and some nautiluses were even killed by the sentry tower without getting close. But others are different. Not everyone robs the savage resources and unlocks many rare technologies. Death is inevitable, and in the cold winter of -70 degrees, if there is no protection from the system mechanism, the camp will not be extinguished, and the blood will be deducted first when freezing, so that it will not turn into a popsicle instantly. Otherwise, more people will die. Drive Lin, the situation is serious. We are born as human beings and should contribute to all mankind. We who are engaged in scientific research do not talk about dedicating ourselves, but it is still necessary to investigate and study all this. Lin Qingqing nodded. I understand what you mean. Don't worry, I will send you some compiled records and information in the next few days. Okay, thank you Dr. Lin. First, I'm going to kill Nautilus with my wife. These guys are here again. They are demolishing my house. What a demolition team. Okay, take care. Wang Fan checked again. 5.4 billion, another 100 million died. At this time, the monkey sent a message. Brother Fan, I almost missed you when I was riding a horse. I have a very important message to tell you. Wang Fan immediately called and said, what's the news? The straight shell nautilus, I was just swallowed by it, but I survived. Wang Fan was also surprised. What? How did you escape? Fat girl beat that guy to death and you escaped. Such a guess is normal. A few people have just learned that the nautilus will eat people and then swim directly to high altitudes to digest the food in its belly. Unless you have ultra-long-range weapons, you can't hit it at all, and the whole body of the person who is eaten will be surrounded by a narrow esophagus, and the legs and feet will be squeezed all the time. It's like being entangled by a python, or like being rolled up in a quilt. He couldn't use his strength at all, let alone attack. He could only be digested to death. Even if Wang Fan was swallowed, he would be unable to launch an attack and would have to wait for death. It's not the fat girl who saved me. Brother Fan, if you are accidentally swallowed, promise me you will eat it. Wang Fan's eyes widened. Ah, eat it. The monkey nodded solemnly. Yes, that's what I did. At that time, I was grabbed by the tentacles of that big guy, and the huge suction cup sucked my body. Then it sent me into the esophagus and squeezed me. I thought it was over and I was going to die. But I remembered that fat girl asked me how I liked the charcoal grilled squid. My body couldn't move, and my legs and hands were tightly wrapped. But I discovered that my skinny monkey has a mouth when it comes to riding horses. My mouth can move. Yes, when it eats me, I also eat it. I opened my mouth and nod hard, even if it smelled like me. I gnawed it ate me, I ate it, even though my stomach felt uncomfortable and a little painful. But I can regain blood by riding a horse. After eating a bite of meat, I was poisoned by the raw meat and lost 0.1 drop of blood, but I can recover 0.5 drops of blood. So I ate it hard and I ate it to death. It was only 15 drops of blood. I solved it in more than 30 mouths. It's not enough to fill the gap between teeth. Then the monkey casually took a photo of himself picking his teeth. In the photo, the monkey was dark and skinny, but his teeth were very white. He also took a fish bone and picked his teeth leisurely. Several people said in unison, "What a fool." Wang Fan and others were shocked when they stepped on the horse. I'm so embarrassed. I'm shocked that I've been riding a horse for 100 years. Brother, you are really awesome. You can even ride on a horse. Brother Fan, yes, it can be done. I have tested it myself and it works. I will come over and tell you as soon as I escape. If you are really in danger, remember to do this, and you will be guaranteed to survive. Wang Fan smiled slightly and felt warm in his heart. He had received the monkey's concern. Such important news was really worth it. Good brother, thank you, I can still think of my buddy. That's necessary, Brother Fan. Every time I ask you to turn off the lights, I have to call you Daddy before turning off the lights. It's a pity. I can't go back. Let's just say goodbye to each other. Wang Fan smiled leisurely. The money is always there on the table, but you always take the lighter. Ha ha ha, Brother Fan, you have discovered this. I also ate the spicy strips on your table, hee hee. You idiot, let me give you something. Wang Fan immediately sent 200 units of iron ore over. Brother Fan, what are you doing? This is iron ore. Brother Fan, so much. No, I only need 20. The monkey refused. He wanted it very much, but due to the affection between men, he was a little embarrassed. The iron ore was too precious. What's more, it's still 200 units. Wang Fan directly turned off his trading function temporarily. Iron ore times 180, failed to send, the other party has closed the transaction function. Monkey, don't bother, just take it and live well. I hope we can live long enough for humans to rebuild their homes and return to school to live in dormitories together. The monkey swallowed and his eyes turned red. Brother Fan, I won't say any cliché words. Take care. Well, cherish it. Lin Qingqing also immediately connected to the line. Such news must be told to mankind, otherwise at this rate of death, mankind may be completely wiped out. Of course, if the Sakura kingdom is destroyed as soon as possible, it is best not to destroy the others first. Everyone in the Sha kingdom must live well. It is a matter of life and death for all mankind. As a human being, we should share. In a short time, through the contacts of the Researchers Association and the influence of the network, it was spread to 10 to hundreds, hundreds to thousands. In less than 2 hours, it spread almost all over the world. After all, there is a golden scroll screen displayed on the chat interface. It is a world speaker that costs 200 units of any resource to use once. The person who sent the message is anonymous and no one knows who it is. The sharp decline in the number of humans has aroused everyone's panic and attention. Chat, Sha Guo, Niu Bai, I'm afraid this guy doesn't have a monkey head and a monkey spirit riding on a horse. He can come up with all kinds of weird ideas. It's so mouth-watering, it's so big-mouthed, I'm going to admire it. Stop talking, brothers, I've already eaten in the Nautilus's esophagus, and the esophagus is quite crispy, crunchy. It's really crispy, just like a pig's throat. It's delicious and fragrant. It's a pity that I didn't bring any seasoning. If anyone has any seasonings, any chili noodles will do. I don't like spicy food. How can I eat braised pork like this without dipping it in some spicy sauce? The ore has exploded, haha, the explosion rate of this thing is higher than that of the strange shrimp, woohoo, take off. At this time, a pinned video was posted on Sha Guo's chat channel. It was pinned to the top like crazy, and countless people blocked it. In the picture, it was the commander of the Sha Kingdom Army Alliance who appeared. Hello, citizens of the Sha Kingdom, I am Xiao Zhen, the Supreme Commander of the Military Alliance. The situation of mankind is getting more and more serious. Perhaps we are a little bit lucky to have survived the cold winter. But at this moment, there are already 5.3 billion people left in the world. Just now there were 5.5 billion people. In less than half an hour, 200 million people were gone again. I really want to say words of comfort, or lie to you that everything will be fine. Maybe you still miss burgers, milk tea, and the soft sofa at home. Of course, maybe, Xiao Zhen, also wanted to sit on the sofa in the living room and watch news TV series and short videos, but I came to my senses. We are all on the death gate star. We must work hard to survive. I have gathered hundreds of top-ranked advanced teams and have opened up a safe zone. Here, we have grown vegetables, raised livestock, and the protective facilities have become almost stable. I will send the location of this area to every Xia country person. If you are willing, then come over. This place will always be a Xia country person's home. Brothers and sisters, how about disasters and difficulties? Earthquakes, floods, viruses, none of them have defeated the strong will of us Xia people. Don't lose the faith to live, stand up and build a home together. Humanity will not perish yet. Strong Xia people, pick up the weapons in your hands and kill those damn tentacle monsters. Let us join hands and fight for a better tomorrow. The comments below were full of responses. Oh no, hundreds of millions and hundreds of millions of responses. Many people have long lost the courage and belief to live, but at this moment, they are all ignited. They want to live, they don't want to die. They want to eat a lot of meat and drink a lot of wine. They have to live, they have to live. The Xia people were full of enthusiasm and seemed to have endless energy in their bodies. They charged towards the fog monster. This time, their eyes were particularly focused and their movements were much more agile. Ding, get, bite. The sound of resources exploding comes and goes. The terrifying Ordovician overlord is being bitten by people in the esophagus, devoured one by one, and eliminated one by one. Eat them and let them see whoever steps on the horse as the food. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.